All right, it's now 7:30 on this Monday evening. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott got a full crew in tonight watching this severe weather across Alabama. We had several confirmed tornadoes across North Alabama and back in Mississippi. And now we got one dangerous thunderstorm in northern Choctaw County. We could get a tornado warning anytime for Sumter and Marengo if this storm continues. It has shown some sign of weakening. We got active thunderstorms ongoing across northwest Alabama. These are not severe at the moment. A lot of lightning with this, a lot of rainfall. Could see the potential for some flooding involved with that as well. So again, that activity is moving off towards the north and west. So again, carefully watching our friends in Choctaw County. Looks like there's a change with that warning. Let me check back real quick and make sure we are still good with that. I think they just did an update on that tornado warning. All right, good deal. So they just did an update on that tornado warning. So again, we are carefully watching the situation across Alabama for the potential for a few tornadoes. We've already had some of those back to the north of us over the Tennessee Valley counties. And in fact, we don't cover the Huntsville TV market. That's the Huntsville's job up there. But again, we cover the Birmingham TV market. So in our county area, if we get a tornado warning, we go on nonstop. That just has not happened yet. There's the tornado warning for Choctaw County. We do note everybody across central and west Alabama is under tornado watch until 11 o'clock tonight. I will say this, though. Our northwest counties, Lamar and Marion and Winston counties, the risk of severe weather is coming to an end as that line slowly creeps off towards the southeast. And once that line pushes east of you, your risk will begin to come to an end. But again, we still got a long way to go for central and west Alabama in terms of the risk of anything severe. So here's a look at radar. Let me take you down to that storm that's in Choctaw County because I want to show you that activity that is certainly we've been watching for the past couple of hours for potential of some organization as it moves into Marengo County. Right now, there's still a tornado warning for Choctaw County. We don't have any confirmation if the Weather Service is going to extend that into southern Sumter or Marengo County. There's that thunderstorm. Again, it's just north of Butler now. There's the Sumter and Choctaw County line. There's the Tombigbee River right there. We've got the city of Linden. And again, this storm at one point had a confirmed large tornado with that. But again,
Richard,
go ahead.
We have got new information coming out of the National Weather Service saying that a tornado likely coming for Sumter soon.
Right now.
Not yet a warned storm, but we are looking at a new warning possibly being issued.
Is that it?
2 areas of rotation will be covered with 1 warning.
Okay, so they're about to issue, and that is Danielle Davis and Chelsea Aaron in the Weather Center. So it looks like we are about to get a tornado warning now for Marengo and Sumter. So let me take you down into that storm. In fact, I'll stop this loop here and just show you what we got. So again, a heads up, we were about to get a tornado warning for Sumter, southern Sumter, also western Marengo County, and this storm is moving off towards the northwest. So again, we are watching carefully for that warning to be issued, and let me know when that does, and we'll jump on that. All right, so far we've got a tornado warning for Choctaw County. We're about to get one from Marengo and Sumter County. And Chelsea, if you want to get your mic there also and let me know when that warning is issued. But I do want to ask, we are on Facebook Live, I believe, right, Catherine? Okay, so we're also on Facebook Live, so I want to mention this before this storm moves into our coverage area for southern Sumter, Marengo County. If you lose power or if you lose your television, as in your television signal, if you have satellite that gets a rain fade, a lot of folks down here talk about that. Very easily can happen. You can join us online, WVUA23.com. If you click the Watch Now option, you can also watch us on Facebook Live nonstop. So as we do get this tornadic storm moving our coverage area, we can be on there nonstop as well. So just other sources, you can watch us. In the event we do have a long-form tornado coverage, I think we're about to get that now for southwest counties. There's Highway 17. There's the community of Cuba. We got York up here, and again, there's Highway 28. It looks like this tornadic circulation is going to be just below Highway 28. In fact, I think we just got the warning from the Weather Service. Yeah, it looks like we just got the tornado warning, guys. If you want to read that off. Has it popped up on our screen here? Okay, there it is.
There it is. Currently issued a tornado warning for Marengo, Sumter, till 8:30 p.m.
Okay, till 8:30 p.m. Okay, so keep me updated on that, and whenever you do, just post that information along to us, okay? All right, so again, we got a tornado warning now to 8:30 for our West Alabama counties of Sumter and Marengo. Let me zoom this out just a little bit, and I'll show you what we got here. This is, again, our future radar. I'll take you back to radar. And again, this thunderstorm's coming out of Choctaw County. We've been watching it for a while now. We formally have a tornado warning. I'll put on the watch warning map, and I want to show you where that polygon is and who that includes in Marengo and Sumter, and it looks like it includes areas basically south of Livingston and north of Linden. Let me take you into that so you can see a wide view of this thunderstorm that is pushing off towards the northeast. And Chelsea, if you will cut your mic off there, and we'll get that on there. If you get any more reports, please let us know. But again, there's your thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado in West Alabama. All right, we got southern Sumter County, northern Marengo County. Formerly, the city of Demopolis is under that polygon in terms of the tornado warning itself. We've also got areas basically from York down to the south towards Pennington. All right, Linden is not formally under the tornado warning. This does not include the city of Linden. We've got Highway 28 that runs into Highway 80. That's where the warning is. That's pretty much the center of the polygon. So if you are from Jefferson back to Livingston on Highway 28, that's where the tornado warning polygon includes. So again, this tornado warning goes until 8:30. So for an hour, we got this tornado warning. Again, it does not include Linden, does not include Sweetwater, Dixon's Mills, anybody down there. That's what the warning polygon looks like. Let me put on reflectivity. In fact, before I do that, I want to take the velocity with this, and we'll be able to actually see the rotation. There's one area rotation just north of Listman. There's Highway 10, and there's another area rotation back here just near the state line where the triple point of Lauderdale County, Mississippi, Sumter County, Alabama, and Choctaw County, Alabama. That right there, both of these areas of rotation are moving in that general direction off towards the northeast. And what was the speed on that, guys? If you want to mention the speed on that tornado or that tornadic thunderstorm.
Moving northeast at 40 miles per hour.
Okay, so we got 40 miles per hour. So again, here's some of the communities in the path of this. Now, if you're up in Saltwell, Jefferson, we want you in your safe place. Now, what that means is get out of a mobile home, find a site-built structure or storm shelter. Anything you can to protect yourself from the possibility of a tornado. This storm has a history of producing a large violent tornado back in Mississippi. Laurel, Mississippi took a direct impact from a tornado back in East Mississippi. The rotation is not near as strong as it was at that point, which is good. But again, this is certainly a dangerous thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. There's two areas of rotation, one back here and right there. This one's just north of Listman. There's Highway 10. This is going to cross Highway 17 close to where the Sumter and Choctaw County line is. This particular circulation, this one back here, is going to come up on the community of Cuba and York, just south of Livingston. So again, there's Highway 80. We got the Tombigbee River right there that's going to cross the Tombigbee somewhere close to Old Lock 3, north of Myrtlewood. Looks like it's going to be north of the city of Myrtlewood. But again, if you're in Myrtlewood towards Demopolis, again, we want you to be in a safe place as the rotation could easily change a little bit. These things do move from right to left some. Their course can veer. So just because it looks like it's going to be just north of, say, Myrtlewood, I still want you in a safe place to be on guard in case this thing does make more of a right turn. That hasn't happened yet, but just to keep your guard up, we want you to do that. And it looks like for at least the next 30 minutes or so. So let me zoom out just a little bit, and I'll tell you what. While I do that, Danielle, I'm going to check with you here in just a moment about anything reports out of this, and if you do, let me know. But so far, it's been pretty quiet in terms of this actual thunderstorm. So in terms of the past, 10 to 15 minutes, Danielle, that we haven't heard any reports out of this storm out of Mississippi.
Yes, Richard, no reports coming out of Mississippi so far. National Weather Service saying that it is radar indicated, okay. So we don't have any actual spottings of it. But again, the rotation on this looking very strong and well defined. So definitely something to be very wary about. Take shelter now. Just because it's radar indicated and we haven't seen it doesn't mean it is not down. Fortunately, everyone in this area already in their shelter. If you are by any windows, doors, get away from them. Interior room, no windows on the main floor right now with this warning in place. Richard?
All right, thank you, Danielle. And again, this is Danielle Davis. We continue to watch the situation. We got two areas of rotation. In fact, with reflectivity, you can see both of these storms very clearly. One that's just north of Lisbon, and the other storm that's back here just to the southeast of Meridian. And both of these are tracking northeast. So again, a heads up for Demopolis, Jefferson. This thing is heading your general direction off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. We can do a path on this thing and show you where this storm is generally heading, and it is again off towards the northeast. So let's do this one first. It's just north of Lisbon because, again, we have two different circulations that are moving off towards the northeast. So let me track this down to 40 miles per hour. There's the city of Demopolis. These are computer estimate times of arrival. This is what time the tornado is going to be at your community, at your house. So understand, if you are in Saltwell, you see 821, you need to be in a safe place now. Stay there until this circulation passes by. In fact, the city of Cortopa, 814. All right, Demopolis, 831. If it holds together, Forkland, 838. Those would be the times of arrival. Notice this is north of the city of Linden. Again, it's a close call for you, but it's going to be north of the city of Linden. I think closer to Jefferson. All right, closer to Rock 10 out here on Highway 80. That's where we're talking about. Let me show the other circulation. In fact, I'll clear this off. And this is the second circulation. These things are right next to each other. This is moving northeast again at about 40 miles per hour. Clear this off the screen so you can see that. Again, this activity continues. We'll monitor that storm. I'll take that off. There's the next area, possible rotation. That's moving northeast just like that. Again, let me step off screen, see if I can get a better handle on this thing because my mouse here has kind of gotten a little crazy. So if you're in southern Sumter County, south of Livingston, that's where we are talking about for the potential for a tornado. If you are, say, towards the city of Greensboro, we need to watch this carefully, but right now this is still off to your southwest at the moment. But again, that could change. So here's a wide view. I want to show everybody out there. Again, there's several storms back in Mississippi. And these are going to continue to move off towards the northeast. Right now, if you are anywhere in West Alabama, let's say north of Tuscaloosa, you are okay for now. This is strong thunderstorms. There's no indication of a tornado here, but we're watching carefully. Okay, yeah, so it looks like the storm in northern Choctaw County is getting a little more impressive, so that does have us concerned. Let me clear that off and zoom back into that storm right here in northern Choctaw. So it looks like the southern storm right now is the most impressive. It's the one that's just north of Pennington, just north of the city of Lisbon. And again, that is moving off towards the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Yeah, I'm looking here in the background to see the rotation with that. I'll pull on the velocity live on air so you can see that. And clearly there's evidence of rotation. We can actually look at the wind speed with this thing and kind of give you an idea how strong this possible tornado could be. But understand, this is several thousand feet off the ground. We're looking at about 103 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. If that were down on the ground, you'd be looking at a fairly strong tornado. So again, let's take this thing serious. It's coming up on southern Sumter County. It is currently in northern Choctaw County. Don't really see any sign of debris with this yet, but understand the radar is maybe 15,000 feet off the ground here. So this thing is certainly well off the ground. So we are continuing to watch that. In fact, Catherine, if we can, let's take the weather iPad. I want to show you this. Again, this is the rotation we're looking at. You see that area purple. In fact, I'm going to circle that. That's where we're talking about for the rotation. It's moving northeast just like that at about 40 miles per hour. So that is certainly a storm of concern. And I tell you what, while I do that, Danielle, if you want to bring up any information on this storm, and I'm going to restart this over here in the background. So again, this is a dangerous storm in northern Choctaw County, moving into southern portions of Sumter County. And we're showing this live on here right now, the area rotation and where this storm is heading. Danielle?
Yes, Richard. So looking at the warning cone, we are looking at cities such as Demopolis. It is heading your way soon. Right now, this rotation has a very strong couplet. Again, no debris signature is very visible right now. However, that does not mean it is not touching the ground and throwing debris across these areas. So if you are north of this this purple area over in Cuba right now. It is just a little south of you. You're on the very edge of the warning system, but still be in your safe place. Just because you are not right around that area doesn't mean you're not seeing strong damaging winds and risking the chance for maybe several trees falling in the area.
Yeah, Danielle, I want to mention this. The National Weather Service talking about the wind speed in this thing is close to 120 knots. That's pretty powerful in terms of the risk of damaging winds or a tornado. In fact, we're talking about rotation winds, so this is not straight line winds. This is rotating winds of nearly 120 knots. That is incredibly impressive. Over 100 mile per hour winds with this. And we're looking at the warning from the National Weather Service, and this is still radar indicated. But again, this is certainly a storm that is concerning now. It's crossing County Road 9, just north of the Cronwell community. If you're familiar with that area, that's where we're talking about. This thing is right on the Sumter and Choctaw County line. I'm going to put on the reflectivity, and you're going to get a better perspective of this thing. We're looking at the rotation within this storm, and this thing has certainly been impressive. It looks like also, Danielle, there could be some large hail with this thing. That's one thing, you know, we haven't really mentioned is the hail threat with this. There could be some quarter-size hail with this storm. And it's also very interesting to see, Danielle, these two storms, they're almost identical and right next to each other.
Yes.
But they're two distinct storms.
Yes, I'm looking at vertically integrated liquid, which really helps show how much strength this storm has and how high up it is in the atmosphere. And you can see in this image that I'm looking at behind the scenes that we're looking at two separate systems, but both very strong, very powerful, and a lot of convection, a lot of instability associated with these areas. And there's actually a few storms just back in Mississippi as well, south of Meridian, around Bay Springs, that are also very strong systems that we need to watch. Right now, one of those does have a severe thunderstorm warning associated with it, with no tornado warning. But again, several other storms, very strong, possibly severe storms, moving into Alabama, also behind these two storm systems side to side.
Yeah, it looks like, Danielle, the winds in this thing are certainly impressive. We're looking at rotation. Let me circle this on here so you can see where we're talking about. And we're picking up winds over 120 miles per hour. So that is certainly a dangerous situation. If you are in southern Sumter County, looks like this is clearly going to stay north of the city of Myrtlewood. A lot of folks asking down there about the Myrtlewood area. I think this is going to stay just your north, but it is tracking off towards the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So really the next larger community we need to be focused on is the city of Demopolis. This thing is heading right towards Demopolis. And looks like, it's right on the county line on Highway 17. So, again, Catherine, if we can go back over to the graphics, and I'll show you this warning. And this is your Polygon. Again, what we're talking about, there's your red Polygon. This is north of Linden. But if you're in southern Sumter County, especially from Demopolis back to the southwest, that is certainly where we're looking at for a dangerous thunderstorm. In fact, here's a radar loop. Let me stop this loop, and I'll show you what we got. This is a 30-minute loop, and there's multiple thunderstorms out there. But in terms of something tornadic, it's on the very southern end of this thing. In fact, you look north, and there's basically just a lot of rainfall across much of northwest Alabama. This is not severe. We've had several confirmed tornadoes back in North Alabama earlier. Those in that weekend and moved into Tennessee. But let's take you down into this storm that's over southwest Alabama. All right, so this is on the Choctaw and Sumter County line. This is on Highway 17. This is your area rotation. We're seeing strong signs there could be a tornado down with this. Keep in mind, we're in one of those kind of weird spots in Alabama where the radar beam is very high off the ground. We're kind of in a bad coverage area in terms of radar coverage. So we're having to dissect this storm about 10 to 15,000 feet off the ground. So unfortunately, we can't see what's down here on the ground. We can only see about 10,000 feet and up with this storm because we're just so far away from the radar site. So that serves as kind of a problem for us because it's hard to know what's actually down on the ground. We can see winds over 120 miles per hour aloft, but down on the ground, winds could be stronger or weaker than that.
Richard, we might be able to see on correlation coefficient right now a debris signature.
Okay.
So if you want to try and get over to that, we might see some low values indicating debris.
Yeah, see that right there. That's close to Highway 17. Yeah, I think that's a tornado there. That's a good catch, Danielle. I think that's a tornado right there on Highway 17, and it's moving northeast. So if you are near the Rock 10 paper mill, you need to certainly be in a safe place. This thing's heading directly your way, and then eventually the city of Demopolis. That's where this tornado is going to be going. So I do think we've got a tornado that could be down. And guys, keep an eye on the chat room at the National Weather Service. If they mention anything about this, let me know. But we are in a conference with the National Weather Service all the time during this. They're the ones that issue the warnings, and we will certainly keep an eye on this thunderstorm because I think we may have a tornado down right on the Choctaw Sumter County line on Highway 17. There's Highway 17 that runs south of York down towards Butler.
Richard, I also think we're seeing some CC values just north of Interstate 10. You can lightly see it on your image.
On Highway 10 right here? Yeah.
Just right north of it as well, right behind that main CC value we're seeing.
Yeah, let's look at the velocity on this, and we can actually tell. I'll tell you what.
Richard, they have continued the tornado warning. It's a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado located 7 miles east of Kinterbush.
Okay, so this is the actual tornado. We've got a confirmed tornado down on the ground right now in extreme southern Sumter County. This storm has had a history of producing tornadoes back in Mississippi. It is producing a confirmed tornado now that is just to the west of the Tombigbee River. Now, if you're in Myrtlewood, you're okay. If you're in Linden, you're okay. This tornado is going to be heading right up towards Demopolis. It's going to hit the Tombigbee River just north of Lock 3, old Lock 3 Road, and move right towards Demopolis. I think it's going to be just on the north side of Jefferson. But again, we do have a tornado that is confirmed down by the National Weather Service. We'll look at the velocity with this thing, and I'm going to see if I can sample the winds from Mobile and see if that, yeah, there it is right there. Let me pull it back over so you can see Mobile in terms of the rotation. You see it right there. That's it. That's where your tornado is, just north of Pennington, just northwest of the city of Myrtlewood. We've got to confirm a large and extremely dangerous tornado down, and this thing is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So I'm going to put the reflectivity back on. And any reports out of this so far, Chelsea or Danielle?
Richard, there is power out in the Salome community.
Okay, so we do have power outages.
And Demopolis heads up. It is heading directly towards Demopolis at this time.
So if you are in the city of Demopolis, you are in a direct threat for a large, violent tornado that's going to be, basically, it's going to come up on the Tombigbee River right here, and it's going to follow the Tombigbee River directly into the city of Demopolis. So I want you in your safe place if you're anywhere near the city of Demopolis. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation. We got a large confirmed tornado down, and this thing means business. We're seeing the storm from about 10,000 feet up, but we can see debris that's actually being lofted that high, which gives us a clear indication this is certainly an intense tornado. I do want to mention before you lose power that if you can't catch us on TV, if you can't watch us on TV, we are also streaming on Facebook Live. Search WVUA 23 on Facebook. If you can't get us on that, go to our website, WVUA23.com, and click the Watch Now option. There's multiple ways you can watch us. If you lose power, and you will lose power if this tornado comes your way, that is certainly a dangerous supercell thunderstorm that is producing a confirmed tornado, and it is moving directly towards Demopolis. If you're in Linden, if you're in Myrtlewood or Pennington, this is north of you. This will not impact those cities. There could be more storms later, but this confirmed tornado will not impact the city of Linden or Myrtlewood. It's heading directly towards Demopolis. So let me do a cone on this, a path, and show you where it's heading. Again, there's your tornado. It's moving towards Demopolis like that at 40 miles per hour. And it's going to be in Demopolis at 8:25. So you've got about 30 minutes. If you're in Demopolis, this thing's going to be on top of you in 30 minutes. Don't wait. Don't wait 30 minutes to take shelter. If you're in a mobile home, this would be a good time to get out of that and get in a site-built structure. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can, and we'll get you through this tornado and let you know when it's all passed east of you. But right now, we've got about 30 minutes, and it's going to be on top of Demopolis. There's the Saltwell community, okay? Saltwell's right there where Highway 28 hits Highway 80. That's going to be there at 8:15, so we're talking about 20 minutes, and it's going to be on top of Saltwell. There's McDowell. All right, Prairieville. If it holds together, we could see Greene and Southern Greene County and also Hale County issued under that. Cedarville 844, again approaching 850 at Sawyerville. If this rotation holds together, it could do that. This thing has had a history of producing several tornadoes back in Mississippi, and we got a confirmed one down right now. We got a Danielle Davis and Chelsea Aaron also in the Weather Center. I want to check with them also, guys, if you hear anything, let me clear this off, coming from the National Weather Service on this storm.
Yeah, Richard, nothing else right now other than it's headed for Demopolis. Everyone in Demopolis needs to get to a safe place now. Again, as Richard said, do not wait. These nocturnal events are extremely, extremely scary. Do not wait to see the storm because you most likely will not since it is dark outside. So definitely get to a safe place. But other than that, no damage reports as of right now.
Okay, now, so far so good in terms of that, but I can assure you we're going to get some damage out of this. Look at the rotation with this. This is an extremely tight couplet now, but strong inbound and outbound winds. We can look at this information on here and just kind of get an idea of how strong the winds are with this tornado. We're looking at about 100-mile-per-hour winds at 10,000 feet off the ground. Keep in mind, though, the winds may be stronger than that at the ground level. So while we're sampling the winds nearly 100 miles an hour at 10,000 feet up, the winds could be stronger. Here's a new update. Let me clear this off. All right, here's your couplet. Here's your tornado. There's the Tombigbee River. There's Saltwell right there. There's Highway 80 and Highway 28. This is going to cross, it looks like, very close to Rock 10 and Saltwell right there. This is where it's heading. Again, there's the city of Myrtlewood right there. We got Linden right there. This is going to be just northwest of you. So again, this is a very dangerous situation. I cannot stress the urgency of this if you are in Demopolis. A confirmed tornado that is down. We'll look at the correlation coefficient, and what this is dual pole technology. This is the dual polarization. This is when we look for debris inside this, and I can't really see much right now, and we're going to watch this carefully. We saw a drop out of the correlation coefficient, which represents possibly debris in the air right here. I can't see it right now, but again, that doesn't mean it's not still down. Based off the signature, we certainly need to be in a safe place heading towards Demopolis. So again, that's what that looks like right there. So a dangerous thunderstorm. Go ahead.
Richard, it's currently crossing Sumter County Road 42 as of right now.
All right, so County Road 42, that's where this thing's crossing. Let me zoom into this just a bit, and we'll show you some of that. This is where your tornado's going to be, right here. This is your couplet. There's Highway 17. There's the community of Derby. This is now cross Highway 17. About 5 minutes ago, we saw the debris pop up on our radar, and we knew there's a tornado down. National Weather Service actually upped the warning and said this is a confirmed tornado down. We know it's one there, and this thing is moving northeast. So again, there's the intersection of 80 and 28. Demopolis, the top of the screen. There's the Tombigbee River that makes the curl across northwest Marengo County. All right, there's Myrtlewood down there. This is Choctaw County at the bottom of your screen. That's the county line of Choctaw and Sumter County. This is the triple point of Choctaw, Sumter, and Marengo right here. New update on the velocity, still a very strong sign of rotation. And this thing is coming up on the Tombigbee as we speak. Within the next 5 minutes, it's going to join the river here and basically follow the river northeast. That's where it's heading, northeast at 40 miles per hour. So again, a dangerous thunderstorm that is likely producing a tornado. Put on the reflectivity out of Birmingham. And there it is. Your tornado is going to be right in here on the southwestern flank of this storm, moving like that. So again, Highway 80 is right there. There's the community of Saltwell. Pinhook's right there. We got Jefferson. This is just north of Jefferson and Pinhook. But your tornado is going to be moving just like that off to the northeast. A very dangerous situation for our friends in the city of Demopolis. So again, if you're in Demopolis, you need to be in your storm shelter now as this thing is heading directly your way. Again, we got Danielle Davis here in the Weather Center. And Danielle, what all are you seeing with this storm?
Well, Richard, no official damage reports yet coming from people. However, on social media, several people messaging in and saying that they've seen wind damage reports coming out of Choctaw County and Lisbon earlier around 7:30. Again, not confirmed by the National Weather Service, but we are hearing some reports. If you have been in this storm earlier, you're seeing damage, from your house or anywhere around you after the storm has passed, you are safe. Be sure to send us in those reports so we can report them. We are seeing also coming in from the National Weather Service nickel-size hail reports on Highway 80, east of Alabama 17. But so far, those are the only damage reports we have coming in. Again, if you have any damage, be sure to let us know so we can get those reported as well. So we'll take a look on radar right now. Again, this storm, very strong, a radar indicated tornado moving towards Demopolis right now as we speak. Again, Richard, we are seeing some CC values, some debris signatures on this. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think this thing is certainly a serious storm. Looks like we've got a new update and seeing a beware, bound to weak echo region. Wow, from the National Weather Service mentioning that. And that is not good when we start to see that, as this thing is certainly showing signs of producing a tornado. In fact, I'll pop back on the screen. You can see that. You can kind of see it from the Birmingham radar site right there, Chelsea and Danielle. That's what we're talking about. That's that area. That's where your tornado is right now. It could have some large hail on the north side of that, but I'm going to flip over to Mobile. And again, there it is. You can see that area where it looks like a donut feature. Again, that's where your tornado is going to be. Could have some large hail on the northern side of that. Again, as it does move off towards the northeast. So this is coming up on Highway 80. This is from Jackson. Again, you see that right there. That swirl looks like a donut. And you have this area in the middle. That's where your updraft is. And you have rotating updraft. And what's happening is your precip is slinging around this mesocyclone, and that's where your tornado is going to be, down below that mesocyclone. So this is where your rotation is. This is where your tornado is going to be. And again, if you're just on the north side of the tornado, you could have some large hail, possibly quarter size, maybe even larger than that. I'm going to put back on the velocity and show you this right here. And in fact, Catherine, if we can double box this, I want to show you the weather iPad, and Danielle's got control of the weather iPad. If you want to zoom into that storm and show you what we've got right there. So again, what we're looking at is debris in that other box there where the potential tornado is. In this one, you're looking at the wind speed inside of this thing. And I'm going to pull back on the reflectivity out of Birmingham. And again, there's your tornado right there. It's coming up on the Tombigbee River. And Danielle, you seen any debris in that other? Looks like it's kind of noisy. It's hard to tell.
Yes, Richard, this storm is in a very tough spot in between several radar sites. So I'm switching through different radar sites, trying to find a good clear image. This one coming out of Birmingham, and I'll switch it back over to Mobile, see if we see anything.
Hey,
from
tell you
down
what, go
there.
back in from Birmingham. I want to check that out and see. Yeah, that looks like it could be it there, right on the Tombigbee River.
Yes.
We are watching this very carefully. Yeah, right there where Danielle is circling, close to the Tombigbee River. Again, this is just northwest of Myrtlewood, heading off towards the northeast. And in fact, if you are just north of this tornado, you're going to have some big hail. Looks like the hailstone size is certainly growing as we speak. So again, if you are in northwest Marengo County, in fact, Danielle, let's keep the velocity on that, so that'll give us a good idea of what this thing looks like. I know it's kind of rough from that spot. Again, it's just in a terrible location with a radar coverage. You got Birmingham that's too far northeast. You got Jackson that's too far southwest. You got Mobile that's too far south. So it's just in a bad spot in terms of radar. But clearly, we have large hail falling on Highway 80 now, possibly quarter size, maybe even up to golf ball size, and that is an indication of a pretty strong updraft and potentially a tornado here.
And Richard, we got some more social media reports coming in. Again, unofficial, not confirmed by the National Weather Service, but pictures on social media of trees down on roads. Some witnesses saying they saw a funnel cloud in Lisman earlier, and from this storm in Choctaw County, funnel clouds showing wind damage from trees down on the ground across roads.
Yeah, that's clearly indication there's a tornado been down. Was that Highway 17 this crossed? Okay, yeah. So that was Highway 17. So we got trees down on Highway 17 where this tornado has crossed. So most likely we still have a tornado down, and this thing is right on the Tombigbee River. This thing's moving northeast at a very fast pace at about 40 miles per hour. This is a supercell thunderstorm. There's where your tornado is right there. You can see that in the reflectivity and the raindrops. You can see how the raindrops make that swirl around where your tornado would be. And there's your Tombigbee River there, how it curls back to the northeast towards Demopolis. So the city of Demopolis is right there. This tornadic storm is moving directly your way. And the other box on the side of your screen, what you're looking at is the wind inside of this tornado. So you're seeing powerful winds inside this thing over 100 miles per hour. I would certainly take this thing serious. So if you're in a mobile home, get out of that now. Find a site-built structure. There's a lot of camp houses here on the Tombigbee River. If you're in a camp house, in a mobile home, find a site-built structure. A lot of these camp houses or mobile homes are their homes built on stilts. That's no good to be on if you're on the Tombigbee River. So again, if you're in a camp house or a mobile home, I want you to get out of that, find a site-built structure, something that can protect you from winds possibly in excess of 100 miles per hour. Again, this is a dangerous situation. This storm has a history of producing a tornado back in Mississippi, in Laurel, Mississippi. Here's a new update. Again, we still have our tornado right there, literally on top of the Tombigbee River. And this thing is following the river northeast. There's the bridge. Look at the rotation with this thing now in the other box. That is truly a powerful area of rotation. In fact, Catherine, we take this full screen. I want to show you this. I'm going to pull it up on the graphics and show you what we were just looking at in terms of the wind. And certainly strong indication of a tornado right there. There's Saltwell, there's Highway 80. It looks like this thing is going to basically follow the Tombigbee River and Highway 80 directly towards the city of Demopolis. If you're in Demopolis, you've got about 20 more minutes and this tornado is going to be on top of you. Any word if the Weather Service could extend this tornado warning?
No confirmed word yet, Richard.
Okay.
Again, we have lost contact with the entire Siloam area, still trying to work on that. But again, no confirmed word about extending the warning yet.
Okay, and look at this. We got winds now approaching 115 miles per hour inside this tornado. So again, there's some rough news coming out of the northern Choctaw County, Sumter County line. Looks like a tornado has done quite a bit of damage now. We don't have any reports in terms of any injuries, but we know there is significant damage now in northern Choctaw County and southern Sumter County, right on the county line. It crossed Highway 17, right on the county line. So we know this tornado is likely still down, and it could be doing considerable damage approaching Saltwell and Demopolis. Okay, so this is an extremely dangerous situation for the city of Demopolis. We need you in a safe place immediately. You see the winds of this thing, the velocity 115 miles per hour. That is very high. That is a significant value in terms of a tornado. So we do not want you to let your guard down with this storm. And I tell you what, I'm going to put on, let's see, I want to put on the hazard here, and I want to see if we got anything showing up in terms of a TVS, and I don't see. There we go. There's a mesocyclone indicator. Let me pull this up on air and we can see the information on this, because I can tell you it's certainly a dangerous storm that is moving off towards the northeast. So here we go in terms of the tornado impact. It's got about a 4. That's fairly high. I can tell you there's likely a tornado down with this based off the reports we had. Wind impact is nearly a 10, which is significant. It's moving northeast. This is showing 31 miles per hour. We've been saying about 30 to 40 miles per hour still. Also, a large hail impact, 6.7. These values go to about 10. So when you get up to 10, that's very significant. So again, we're seeing some large concerning numbers in terms of large hail and a tornado. Again, probability of severe hail, 100%. There's large hail within this actual thunderstorm. So let me take that off. And again, this is what you're looking at. There's your rotation that's coming up on Saltwell. There's the city of Demopolis. It's going to be in Demopolis in about 15 minutes. So you got to get in that safe place. If you're in a mobile home, find a site-built structure. Something that will protect you from flying debris, something that will protect you from the violent winds of this tornado. If this tornado is still down. And so far, we've heard of power outages We've heard of damage and trees down, so we know this storm means business. This thing could still be producing a tornado, and it is approaching a large city of Demopolis in North Marengo County. And again, it is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. We got Danielle Davis in the Weather Center as well. And Danielle, you're monitoring this from the background. What all are you seeing so far? Anything?
Richard, I've just been looking through several other radar products, and this storm is huge. This storm goes well up into the atmosphere, very high, a lot of convection associated with it. So yes, I would definitely say there's hail associated with it. National Weather Service with this warning saying we're looking at hail probably roughly around 3/4 of an inch. And with how high this storm is up in the atmosphere, I would say definitely seeing some hail being thrown to the ground, as well as that rotation still looking very strong. A very strong rotation on radar coupled with a very high storm is a good indication of a lot of convection and rotation associated with the tornado on the ground, definitely causing damage. It keeps getting closer and closer to Demopolis. So if you are in Demopolis and you are wondering if you need to go to your safe zone now, yes. Immediately go to your safe zone right now. Saltwell, you're seeing it come your way right now as well. If you are in Saltwell, you better be in your safe room right now as it passes right into the city. Demopolis, less than, I would say, 15 minutes. It's going to be in your location. And I've just seen this storm continuously begin to strengthen as it moves towards Demopolis. This latest radar scan showing it about the same, maybe even just a tad weaker, but that does not say much. Again, this still is a very strong storm pushing its way towards Demopolis right now as we speak. We're still seeing what we were talking about earlier, that bounded weak echo region, which is a good indicator of a rotating storm on top of seeing the velocity product. So that rain is being pulled around to the other side and held up into the atmosphere by the rotation and by a strong updraft with this storm. So again, safe area right now if you are in Saltwell, Demopolis, McDowell, I would definitely say get there as well. If you are back off to the southwest in Cotopa, I think you are on the safe side right now. Some strong damaging winds still possible in your area. The tornado does look to be just northeast of you right now. McDowell in your safe zone right now. Saltwell in your safe zone. Demopolis, safe zone. Interior room, no windows, as far away from windows and outdoor doors as well. For real, guys, this is a severe warning, a tornado warning that needs to be taken very seriously as it continues to push its way towards Demopolis right now.
Yeah, and Danielle, looks like we do have a new tornado warning coming out, and this is going to be for portions of Greene County and Hale County. So again, we have a new tornado warning. Looks like it's going to be coming out. So let me pull that up on the screen. I'm going to show you that. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation for a tornado that is likely down, heading right for the city of Demopolis. Let me zoom out just a little bit. And so you can see that new tornado warning Polygon should be coming out. There it is there. And this is going to include a large chunk of Hale County. This thing is going to be moving directly towards Greensboro. All right, so that's the brand new tornado warning Polygon that has come out for much of Hale County and southern Greene County. Let me put on the warning display, and you can see that. There's your new Polygon. Includes all of much of Hale County and Greene County to the south of the city of Forkland. And that's where we're talking about. So Demopolis, Forkland, Greensboro, you're going to be in the direct path of this tornado that is considered on the ground as we speak. So again, a dangerous tornado. That's on Highway 80 coming up on Demopolis. Next stop would be the big city of Greensboro in central Hale County. So again, we need you in a safe place if you're inside this tornado warning Polygon. This is south of Havana, and this is to the north of New Bern in terms of Hale County. Demopolis, Greensboro, you're in the dead center path of this tornado that is on the ground, and it is a confirmed tornado, a very dangerous situation with this particular tornado that is down. And we can look at the velocity. In fact, let me zoom into that just so you can get a better view of this. And here's your rotation. It's coming up on Demopolis as we speak. There it is. There's your tornado just really between the Tombigbee River and Highway 80. So if you're on Highway 80, you're likely right next to the tornado that's coming up on Demopolis. All right. So this is southern in eastern Sumter County. There's southern Greene County. There's the city of Forkland at the top of your screen. We've got Hale County right here. Again, a dangerous storm that is moving northeast just like that. Looks like Demopolis, within the next 10 minutes, this tornado is going to be on top of you. Let me zoom out just a bit, and I want to do a path on this thing because I hadn't done that in a while, just show other communities that is going to be in the direct impact of this potential tornado that could likely still be down. It's moving northeast, all right? So let me pull on the cone on this. And there's your tornado right there. It's moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Okay, here's the city's arrival time. At 8:22, we're looking at Demopolis. That's where this tornado is going to be at 8:22 in downtown Demopolis. All right, Cedarville at 8:41. Greensboro at 8:53, Ingram at 9:09. If it holds together, it makes it as far northeast as Ingram. Again, that's where we're looking at. You see these communities, these are the times of arrival for these communities. So we need you in a safe place if you're in these communities right now. And again, that's what time the actual tornado itself is going to be there. We don't want you to wait until your time's up. We want you to go ahead and go to that safe place. You know, Danielle, something you mentioned earlier is the fact that it's dark out. And this thing could be rain wrapped. So, I mean, that's pretty dangerous to, you know, try to look for this thing. But a lot of people try to do that.
Yes, you should not be looking for this tornado if you were out there. Do not try to send us a video of it if it is coming towards your house. Do not try to post it on social media. Get in your safe zone right now if this tornado is heading your way. We're looking at these locations right now as that storm begins to push towards Demopolis. Demopolis looking to be there by 8:22. But right now, Richard, I am not seeing anything come out of the National Weather Service.
All right, so we'll continue to watch that very carefully. And as we do monitor this situation, let me read off the warning I've got here. This is for Greene County and Hale County until 9:15. That's the actual tornado warning itself until 9:15. That has been extended to the northeast of the city of Demopolis. Again, this is all south of Tuscaloosa, but the National Weather Service saying this is a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. We've had a confirmed tornado down, but now we're looking at the possibility of a tornado with this. So that's at least one thing that is no longer an observed tornado, but certainly a very dangerous situation for a tornado that could be down with this. So again, if you are watching us in southern Greene County and central Hale County, we got a thunderstorm that could be producing a tornado down right now. So again, we need you in a safe place. You see the community times of arrival here for this tornado that is moving northeast. It's very close to Demopolis. So let me clear this off the screen. We're going to put on the reflectivity out of Birmingham. That is certainly a tight couplet coming up on Demopolis. All right, so here is Birmingham's reflectivity. And again, there's your potential tornado. There's Demopolis. We got large hail falling now just on the north side of Demopolis, about to cross Highway 43. That'll be to the south of Forkland. So again, if you're on Highway 43, if you are in Forkland, pull over. Do not drive south towards Demopolis. We got not only the large hail threat, we also have the potential for a tornado, which is certainly still there. This is a supercell type of thunderstorm. It's out here by itself. And again, we've got indication of strong rotation and likely a tornado down with this heading right for Demopolis, very close to the city as we speak. Next stop will be Greensboro. So if you are between Sawyerville and Newbern, and if you're on Highway 14, let's say Highway 14 from Sawyerville south towards Greensboro, we want you to pull over. Don't go into Greensboro. Let this tornado pass before you resume travel. Worst thing you can do at a nighttime event is drive into the tornado. You're going to have large hail falling, heavy rainfall, and likely a rain-wrapped tornado. So you're not going to be able to see this thing. So again, this is not a situation you want to take lightly. So again, the tornado continues very close to the city of Demopolis. Let me look on the reports here and see if we've got anything close by. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I want to show you a wider view from this storm. Again, we've had reports coming in over the past hour or so with this storm. And I'm not seeing any other than the trees down. That's where your tornado crossed right here in northern Choctaw and southern portions of Sumter County. But again, we don't have any confirmation of tornadoes still down. here's your thunderstorm that could still be producing a tornado coming up on Demopolis. So again, if you're in Demopolis, downtown, we want you in a safe place, lowest floor of your home, many walls between you and the outside as possible until this thing passes. I'm going to put on the warning and show you who's in the tornado warning. And there it is. Again, it includes southern Greene County, south of Forkland. And we do note there's a new tornado warning back in East Mississippi, just to the west of Choctaw County. We'll need to watch that carefully if that does move northeast, cross Choctaw into Marengo. No sign of that yet, but again, that could certainly happen. Let me zoom into this tornado warning polygon and show you who all's in this polygon. And again, there's the city of Demopolis. That's Highway 43. There's the Arcola community. There's Cedarville. That's Highway 69 that runs north of Prairieville, where Highway 80 hits Highway 69. If you're on 69 heading north from Highway 80, pull over, let this tornado pass. Again, the tornadic circulation's on top of Demopolis now and approaching Arcola. That's the Black Warrior River. The Black Warrior and Tom Beebe interchange right here near the Demopolis boat landing, just north of that by about a half a mile. That's where the tornado is going to be, very close to the city landing at Demopolis, our downtown, coming up on Arcola, and then we got Cedarville, and then we got the city of Greensboro. That's who's in that. If you're in Forkland, I think you're okay, but to be safe, go to a safe place. The best word of advice is use caution because this thing could shift a little north, a little south. Tornado paths often change a little bit, and that could happen. So let me go back over to the velocity. And again, your potential tornadoes right on top of Demopolis, if not just a hair to the west, and certainly a dangerous circulation. There's where your possible tornado is going to be. You see McDowell right there on the Tom Beebe River. There's Saltwell. The tornado has passed Rock 10 and Saltwell. It's off to the northeast now. This is where your tornado is going to be located. There's Demopolis. There's your tornado. Again, very close situation to Demopolis. So we want you to stay in that safe place right now as we've got a dangerous storm that could be producing a tornado that is bearing down on you. We've also got Chelsea Aaron here in the Weather Center in Chelsea. What else are you coming up with?
Yes, sir. So currently, again, we have that tornado warning still continued for Marengo and Sumter County until 8:30 p.m. Again, this tornado is currently confirmed large and extremely dangerous, located over Demopolis, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. We also have another tornado warning for Greene and Hale County until 9:15 p.m. Again, this has a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Demopolis. So again, it's very, very important that you are in your safe place. Currently, again, do not wait to try to see the tornado. Make sure you are in your safe place properly currently now.
Yeah, so again, this is an extremely dangerous situation still, and we noticed the National Weather Service mentioning a new TDS popping up on this. This is a tornado debris signature. And again, we're looking at this very carefully. This thing is extremely close to Demopolis. All right. If anything, the circulation may be a mile north of downtown Demopolis. But it is such a close call for downtown. We want you to stay in your safe place. We do have the potential for a tornado that could still be down. And it is crossing Highway 43 as we speak. So between Forkland and Demopolis, we got this tornado that is considered large and extremely dangerous. Crossing 43 now. It will be soon crossing the Black Warrior River and approaching the city of Greensboro. So again, this is certainly a storm we need to take serious, as it has a high likelihood it could still have a tornado down with that. So again, if you are in Demopolis, Forkland, back towards Greensboro, stay in your safe place now. And we'll get you through this thing, because this is certainly a situation you need to be in a safe place right now. So again, we're just looking at other things on social media, and a lot of folks are talking about this storm. And certainly this is a dangerous situation, but I have not seen many reports out of this so far, which is actually kind of encouraging to see that the lack of reports over the past 20 minutes or so. But again, the National Weather Service using extreme caution, a lot of urgency here of this dangerous situation, this thunderstorm that is likely producing a tornado right now. There it is. It looks like the tornado's on the point where the Black Warrior River interchanges with the Tombigbee River that is just north of Demopolis City Landing. Downtown Demopolis sits right here. Let me put on the reflectivity out of Birmingham. And again, your tornado is going to be right there. And it's moving northeast just like that. There's Arcola. You're going to be under the gun. So it looks like your tornado is lifting just northeast of Demopolis. Looks like based off of the lack of reports, I would say most likely this tornado was just a hair north of Demopolis. I would say this now, if this tornado is down to the city, we would know it pretty quickly. Also, watching this back to the southwest of Demopolis, there's another pinch that may be forming down here near Saltwell. We need to watch that for possible rotation as well. So let me zoom out. I want to show you a wide view. We haven't done this in a while. I need to show everybody out there because a lot of folks are asking about different parts of Alabama. And while I do that, I do want to check in with the Weather Center with Danielle Davis and Chelsea Aaron. And guys, anything new coming from these storms that you're seeing?
Nothing very new, Richard. We're looking at near the dam west of Demopolis is where this tornado has been located. Again, hail going to be a large issue with this. We're also looking at hail roughly around 3/4 of an inch. A tornado now observed and a tornado damage threat is very considerable right now for Marengo and Sumter counties till 8:30 tonight. And at 8:20, a confirmed large and very dangerous tornado located over Demopolis, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So we have been seeing it move at roughly 40 miles per hour over the last I would say 30-40 minutes. So it's not starting to speed up or even slow down, but we are still looking at very strong damaging winds, a tornado likely still on the ground. From the last few scans, I have been seeing it start to weaken, but still, when I say weaken, I mean it is still a very strong tornado likely on the ground, moving just north of Demopolis right now, Richard.
Yeah, no, I'm checking things behind the scenes with some reports down here, and this is certainly a dangerous situation of a tornado that may be down just on the north side of Demopolis. It looks like, goodness, getting reports of homes damaged, people injured in the Saltwell community. That's just west of Demopolis. Looks like there's certainly still a tornado that could be down with this. And again, we continue to monitor this situation, but based off of some of the reports, this is certainly not a good situation with some reports of entrapment possibly in some of these homes here near Saltwell. So again, we got a dangerous tornado that's still down very close to the city of Demopolis. Let me take you back into that. Everybody else across central Alabama is okay. This is the only storm of concern at the moment. And again, a very dangerous situation for our friends in Demopolis, now just north of there. Looks like approaching the city of Greensboro. We have the potential for a large and extremely dangerous tornado that could be still on the ground. Here's your inflow notch right here. So it looks like your tornado may be lifting just north of Demopolis. Saltwell sits back here. Looks like we got some structural damage now in Saltwell with possible injuries reported from that. Just checking with some reports back there. Let me pull on the velocity display. And again, still a very strong indication of a tornado right there. Now pulling north and east of the city of Demopolis. There it is right there. So let me zoom back into this. Again, this is very close to Arcola, south of Forkland. There's your tornado there. So again, this is just north of the city of Demopolis. The tornado looks like it crossed somewhere very close to where the Tombigbee and Black Warrior interchange on the north side of Demopolis. I have not heard of any reports in downtown at the moment, although I can imagine it was a close call for you. Again, there's Cedarville right there. That's Highway 69. This tornado is moving northeast towards Lock 5. You see Lock 5 right there. This thing looks like it's going to hit Lock 5 directly. A lot of camp houses out here. I know there's a lot of mobile homes in this area, a lot of camp houses that are mobile homes on the Black Warrior River and on the Tombigbee back here. But again, this is the Black Warrior up here. We need you in a safe place. We need you to get out of a mobile home. A lot of these are on elevated structures like stilts. or mason blocks. You got to get out of that. Understand, it doesn't take a strong tornado to do considerable damage to a mobile home. All right, there's Highway 43, the city of Forkland's right there. It looks like this tornado may have crossed Highway 43 about 2 or 3 minutes ago. And we're watching for debris. Again, understand we are sampling air that's about 8,000 feet above the ground right here, 8,000 to 9,000 feet up. So we're not seeing debris at the moment, but again, we have a confirmed tornado that's still down. So there's damage being done as we speak. We'll pull on the reflectivity. And again, there's your possible tornado or confirmed tornado. Right here. See, there's your inflow notch right over Lock 5. Your tornado is going to be right in this zone crossing Highway 43 as we speak. So again, if you're north, that's where we're talking about, north and east of the city of Demopolis, where a tornado is downed according to reports and according to the National Weather Service. Also the potential for some large hail on the Black Warrior River north of Demopolis. This is all across the Tombigbee now. That's the Tombigbee right there. This is the Black Warrior. This is Demopolis. So your tornadoes right here now approaching Lock 5, where there are a lot of camp houses. So if you're in Lock 5, please find a safe place, shelter immediately. You only have a couple of minutes before this tornado is on you. I do want to mention we are also on Facebook. We're Facebook Live at WVUA 23. If you lose power, you can join us there. Also on our website, WVUA23.com, and click the Watch Now option just to have another source to be able to view if you lose power, because I know you're going to lose power if that does happen. Just looking at some stuff behind the scenes here, and it looks like we're looking at a possible tornado picture. I'm trying to figure out where this is. Not sure if that's from the storm in Demopolis or not. But we're going to try to get that information to you. But again, we're looking at a lot of stuff behind the scenes here of a possible tornado that could still be down. So again, let's reset this real quick. Let me zoom out and show you wide view and everybody out there because I know a lot of people are watching from other parts of Alabama that are not being impacted by severe weather right now. There's our tornadic thunderstorm with a confirmed tornado down, moving now into southwest Hale County, approaching Greensboro. We got other storms out there, but these are not severe. No issues of these being severe at the moment, although we will watch these carefully. Again, from Coleman County back to the southwest, this is all just heavy rainfall. We have a dangerous, severe tornadic thunderstorm that's just got outside of Demopolis, and again, it's moving off towards the northeast. And
Richard, we are getting some new reports coming in from emergency management saying 1 home damaged west of Demopolis, 3 injured reported from Marengo County emergency management from the director there. And then we also have other emergency management going down the highways where the storm has already passed, looking for damage. They checked Highway 17 to the county line and have found no damage there. But they are continuing to check County Road 9, County Road 10, as well as power lines have been seen to be down for a mile and a half south of Sumter and Choctaw line on Alabama 17. So now they have found more damage actually on Alabama 17, and Silhome Fire Department has units in other areas checking now. So I do expect some more damage reports to come back to us in the next several minutes. I would say as that storm has passed through and people are able to get out there safely to assess the damage that this possible tornado has caused.
Yeah, it looks like this is certainly a dangerous situation for now Greensboro, so we are certainly calling if anybody in the city of Greensboro, you need to be in a safe place right now. This is a very dangerous situation. We got a tornado that is down, that has been down for quite a while and has done considerable damage. Danielle Davis reporting about some structures damage and some injuries in far northern Marengo County on Highway 80, very close to the Saltwell community. So we know there's a tornado down with this. So this is certainly a dangerous situation for a tornado that is likely still down, approaching Greensboro from the southwest. I want to look at the wind inside the scene. I want to see what we got. And in fact, before we do that, I'm going to pop on the hazards. And again, yeah, still showing the rotation there. We know it's there. Put on the wind in terms of the velocity. And there it is. That's a clear indication a tornado is still down, about to cross the Black Warrior River, very close to Lock 5. That's where we're talking about. In fact, let me zoom in and show you where that is. All right, so there's your tornado. It's crossing the Black Warrior River as we speak. That's it right there. There's Lock 5. Cedarville and Highway 69 is right there. There's your tornado. Let's look at the wind inside of this thing and just see how strong the winds are if we can measure this and again get a good indication of what's happening with this particular storm. And again, seeing 100-mile-per-hour winds, very consistent 100-mile-per-hour winds with this. So this is a strong tornado that is still down. That is literally a mile north of Lock 5 at most. So again, if you are in Cedarville up towards Greensboro, we need you to be in a safe place immediately, as this is an extremely dangerous situation with a confirmed tornado still down with this actual thunderstorm. I'll take this off, and I want to do a path on this because this is moving northeast pretty quickly at 40 miles per hour. And again, if you are in Greensboro, you need to be in a safe place immediately. This is moving northeast. It was down here in Demopolis, now moving northeast. And I tell you what, Danielle and Chelsea, if you guys want to check down here near Demopolis, there may be another circulation forming down here.
Yes, the National Weather Service in Birmingham said the tornado is still on the ground crossing Highway 43 just north of downtown Demopolis. Next stop will be Greene County Road 18. But just as Danielle mentioned earlier that the circulation had weakened, it is beginning to recycle currently right now. So
yeah, and it seems like it's been doing that several times now. These storms, they tend to do that in an environment we're in tonight. They're cyclical in nature, meaning they'll pulse up, they'll kind of pulse down, and when they pulse up a bit, they produce a tornado, and this thing may still have a tornado down. It likely does. It's moving northeast at a pretty good clip. Again, this is Greensboro is in the path about 10 minutes after 9. I'd say probably sooner than that. This tornado is going to be up on Greensboro. So about 9 o'clock, that's where this tornado is going to be approaching the city of Greensboro. Again, a very dangerous situation for a tornado that's likely still on the ground. Let's look at the correlation coefficient with this and just see what we got.
And Richard, I do want to say that the National Weather Service has now talked about possibly looking at an area of rotation in northwest Pickens County. There is not a warning with this, but they are looking and monitoring it to see if it could be a possible tornado as well, a separate one than the one we're looking at right now.
And I'll tell you what, let's run up there and see that. I want to check that out because this could be a new tornado developing in Pickens, and that is a different storm that we have been watching. So again, there's the wide view. Let me take you into Pickens. And let's just kind of see, okay, there it is right there. And this thing is about to cross Highway 17 near Palmetto. So, yeah, an area rotation here we need to watch. Again, this is not a tornado warning, but this is northern Pickens County. There's the city of Reform and Gordo on Highway 82. Again, that's where your possible rotation is beginning to flare up. But again, there's not a confirmed tornado with that. But we do need to watch it very carefully. Let me put on, tell you what, I put on Columbus radar. And let's look at this thing. All right, so that's high top. Put on Columbus. There it is. Again, so we got this area up here in northern Pickens County. There's the city of Ethelsville. Again, this is not a tornado warning at the moment, but again, it's a storm we are carefully keeping an eye on. Now, we do have a tornado that is down, and that is in southern Greene County, moving to southwest Hale County. So let's take you into that. Take you wide first off. Again, there's rain and thunderstorms over much of Alabama, West Alabama. Here's your tornado. This is your tornadic thunderstorm that has now come out of Demopolis.
Richard, we are also getting messages on Facebook of people reporting that there are injuries in their town in west of Demopolis near County Road 57, and multiple structures have collapsed.
Wow. That's it right there. That's your tornado that's approaching Greensboro. So this is an extremely urgent situation. If you are in Greensboro, you need to be in a safe place right now. So again, we got reports of injuries. In fact, we're getting reports of multiple injuries now and structural damage just west of Demopolis from this actual tornado that has touched down. So again, this is an extremely dangerous situation. for a tornado that is still down. And we got Chelsea here too. Chelsea, Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah, Richard, so the National Weather Service in Birmingham has now canceled the tornado warning for Greene County, but still continues it for Hale County, so that this is an observed tornado, hail at an inch or over. Again, this confirmed tornado was located over Duffy's Bend, or 8 miles southwest of Greensboro. So again, it is moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. You need to take your safe place now, and then those damage reports are still coming in. We have an 18-wheeler overturned by wind at 57 and US 80 west of Demopolis in Marengo County.
All right, so we continue to watch the situation. We're working on getting an image that is quite frightening from the Demopolis area. And Catherine, I'm going to call here in just a moment for the weather iPad if we can, but hold on just a moment, and we're going to take this. This is from Casey Goldman in Demopolis. This is a tornado that he has gotten. It was illuminated by lightning, a large tornado in Marengo County. And again, Danielle's kind of zooming into that for us, and this is certainly a dangerous looking tornado. This was just outside of Demopolis right here. Again, Casey Goldman getting us this picture of a lightning illuminating a large tornado. This is what came through Saltwell and Highway 80, and again, that is a significant tornado. You can see the structure of this thing kind of worked out perfect with the lightning. There's so much lightning with this, you could see it clearly, but this passed just north of downtown Demopolis. Thankfully, this did not take a direct hit in the city of Demopolis. That is a considerable tornado, and this tornado is still down, and it is heading towards Greensboro as we speak. So if you're in Greensboro, that thing right there is heading directly your way. Let's go back over to the graphics. And again, this is it. This is your tornado. It's just north of Cedarville. So if you're in Greensboro, you need to be in a safe place immediately. It's now past northeast Arcola. We'll pull on the velocity, and that's it right there. That's your tornado coming up on Greensboro. If anything, it may be on the northwest side of Greensboro, but it's such a close call. If you're anywhere in Greensboro, we want you in a safe place. That's the lowest floor of your home, many walls between you and the outside as possible. So this is an urgent situation. If you are in Greensboro, we have a tornado that is down, and it is approaching you from the southwest right now. It's north of Cedarville. Again, this thing is moving a little more north than east, but again, there's your tornadic circulation. There's Greensboro. In fact, there's the city of Melton right there. Let me pan you off to the north just a little bit. You got Sawyerville. That's Highway 14 that runs from Sawyerville down to Greensboro. And again, in this area, this tornado is going to cross, I think, somewhere very close to, if not just a hair to the west of downtown Greensboro. So again, if you're in Greensboro in a mobile home, please get out immediately. This is a dangerous situation for a tornado that is confirmed down. It's still down. We know it's there. It's doing damage. Let's look at the debris signature. And again, there's an area there that looks like possibly some debris. It's hard to tell with that. But again, we'll go back over the velocity. You can see that, or the reflectivity. That's where your tornado is right there. We'll go to velocity, the wind. And again, a very dangerous looking couplet right there approaching Greensboro from the southwest. So this is an urgent situation. If you are in Greensboro, we need you in a safe place right now as this thing moves off towards the northeast. And again, I'm just checking here in the background, some things going on. And again, this is certainly not good for Greensboro. So a dangerous situation, a tornado that could still be down. And Chelsea, Aaron, anything coming from the National Weather Service new from this thing?
The National Weather Service in Birmingham has just said that a possible tornado is crossing County Road 35 and approaching Greensboro as of 1 minute ago. So it's very, very important that you are staying in your safe place at this time. It's important that you have a safe place at this time, Richard.
Yeah, so again, if you are in Greensboro, this is absolutely a dangerous situation for a tornado that's likely still down. And I'll tell you what, Danielle, if you want to pull up on the iPad that picture, we want to just show people in Greensboro what's heading their way. And Catherine, whenever Danielle gets that up, if you'll pull it on screen, and we'll show that to you. That's it. That's the tornado that has been in North Marengo County. The thing crossed the Highway 80 corridor, moved just a hair north of the city of Demopolis. This was a large tornado, extremely dangerous tornado. It's been on the ground for a long time now. Likely it's been on the ground since East Mississippi. But the structure of this thing is incredible from this tornado. So this thing is doing a lot of damage now. Let's go back over to graphics and show you that. Here's your tornado right there, approaching Greensboro from the west. Let's look at the info. Hang on, here's a new update. Again, still there, still excellent sign of rotation. There's Greensboro. That's Highway 14 right there. Sawyerville, this tornado is going to be just a hair to your southwest, or southeast rather, by maybe a mile or two. So if you're anywhere between Sawyerville and Greensboro, you've got to be in a safe place for this likely tornado that could still be down. It is approaching you quickly from the southwest. Let me take this out wide, and I want to do a wide perspective on this thing. And it's basically going to cross Highway 14 somewhere very close to, if not just a hair to the west of Greensboro. Again, it came from the Demopolis area, so it's moving northeast just like that. So it may pass just a hair west of downtown Greensboro. And in fact, let me do a cone on this thing. And while I do that, anything new, Danielle or Chelsea?
No, Richard, nothing new coming out of the National Weather Service. Still talking about the damage that we spoke of earlier coming out of Saltwell, the Saltwell community. Again, 18-wheelers being overturned at Highway 57 and US 80 west of Demopolis and Marengo. Talking about 3 injuries reported so far. Right now, again, this is the only tornado warning we have issued in Alabama. So this is the storm we are really focused on and concerned about. Severe thunderstorm warning down in Choctaw County. But again, the only tornado warning right now we're looking at is here just south of Greensboro right now.
Yeah, and again, I'm just checking something here from some reports down to the south out of Marengo County, and certainly looks like this has been a dangerous situation. And so far, I do not see any updates, which hopefully we will not. But understand that, you know, it's 8:45 at night, and you know, a lot of people may not have power down here after this tornado passed, so it may be a delayed report we get from these people down here that this tornado has passed through. But I do want to remind you, as this tornado comes up on your community, please have a source to get this warning. If you get a warning, we'll be on TV, WVUA. You're watching us on TV, or we're on Facebook Live. Search WVUA 23 on Facebook. If you can't get that, go to our website, WVUA23.com. We have a Watch Now option. We are streaming online, multiple sources so you can watch us. If you lose power, I can tell you there's nothing more frightening when you lose power. You don't know what's happening. You don't know where the tornado is. So please have those backup sources to get information. And we're going to stay on top of this thing. But again, these are communities in the path of this, 850 Greensboro. If it holds together, 930 to 940 around the Bryn area. Pondville, there's Hogglesville, areas like that could be potentially under the gun for this tornado that is still down in Hale County doing damage. And let me zoom back into this thing. And I tell you what, while I do that, Chelsea, anything from the National Weather Service on Pickens County?
No, sir, Richard, nothing yet on Pickens County. Did get word from the National Weather Service in Birmingham that the cell near Greensboro is beginning to weaken just a bit. Again, you know, like we spoke earlier, this can happen and, you know, possibly recycle and, you know, strengthen too. So take that with a grain of salt. But again, nothing on Pickens yet, Richard.
All right, so far so good with that. But again, this is certainly a dangerous situation for a potential tornado that is likely still down moving through Hale County. Again, so far I don't see anything else in terms of rotating storms. And I tell you what, please in Greensboro, I need you to stay in a safe place. The tornado is going to be very close to the west side of town. That's Highway 14 right there that runs up Sawyerville. Here's a new update. That's where your tornado is, just on the west side of Greensboro. I will say this, the velocity couplet is not as strong as it was. But again, we still need you to take caution with this and be in a safe place, as this thing could still be down as it's moving northeast.
Richard, we've just gotten new updates from Pickens County. Again, not a warned storm, but we are looking at rotational loft with that storm, so that's a good indication that it's beginning to form and possibly a funnel cloud near the area. But again, unconfirmed. Just from what I'm seeing on radar coming out of Mississippi, the Mississippi radar, looking at the rotation on the velocity. I'm seeing some velocity aloft.
Okay, let's look at this thing. Danielle, thank you for that update. This is in northern Pickens County. And again, let's watch this thing carefully. There's no tornado warning with that. We're going to look at the velocity. And yeah, there's no doubt there's something there trying to spin. Also up here in southern Fayette County, got area rotation with that as well. So it looks like we've got a couple of areas of rotation with that. The one in southern Fayette County certainly bears watching. And this one here that is just on the north side of Highway 82 bears watching as well, as this thing could develop into a tornado. But again, this is going to be coming up on the city of Palmetto. This is Highway 17. That's Reform. We got Gordo right there. Millport and Kennedy up here, but again, your possible tornado will be just on the north side of Highway 82 if one does develop. Now, we'll say this, there's not much rotation, but it still bears watching. So let's go back down to the south. Okay, let's go down to the south, and while we do that, we've also got Jabari Pruitt, who is here. And Jabari, I understand you got an update for us.
That's right, Rich. Of course, from the city of Tuscaloosa, it said that Tuscaloosa police officers are en route to open local shelters. The tornado shelter's opening will be at the Tuscaloosa Magnet School, the Tuscaloosa Career and Technology Academy, University Place Elementary, the Alberta School of Performing Arts, and the McDonald Hughes Center. They're just kind of thinking ahead, and police officers are en route right now at any of those shelters, open them up for people who want to take cover. So, just kind of letting everybody know that.
All right, thank you, Jabari, for that update. So just a source of people to go to if we do have a tornado in this area. Now, let's. We've also got Chelsea Aaron, who's in the Weather Center. Chelsea, you got an update from Marengo County?
Yes, Richard. Just like Danielle and I have been mentioning, still there's just 3 confirmed injuries, several homes damaged, numerous trees down, and that 18-wheeler that was overturned along Highway 80 at County Road 57. So again, these are all indicate a possible tornado, and again, extremely dangerous tornado that passed through this area earlier tonight.
All right, and again, we've also got reports coming from here from, again, Marengo County. We've got a picture from Casey Goldman in Demopolis, and Danielle Davis, she's going to work on that and get that for us on the weather iPad, and Catherine, if we'll take that whenever she's got it pulled up. I want to show you this. This happened just a little bit earlier, about 8:20. Again, Casey Goldman sent us this picture. This is a large tornado. This was just west or close to Demopolis, not far away. This is where we got the injuries reported that we were just reporting as well, that Danielle and Chelsea was bringing to us. The 3 injuries were produced by that tornado there that crossed just north of the city of Demopolis. This tornado is very close to Greensboro now, but again, this was at about 8:20, and I know it's dark at 8:20. This was a lot of lightning. There's plenty of lightning to illuminate this tornado, so we're able to get a great perspective. I mean, you see the striations around this thing, and again, that's your tornado right there. Certainly a large, dangerous tornado. It's hard to tell the strength of a tornado by looking at a picture, but based off of the reports we've seen, based off of some of the damage, I'd say this tornado is fairly significant in terms of its intensity. So I would not be surprised to see this thing rated fairly high when the National Weather Service tomorrow sends out the survey crews. But let's go back over to graphics, Catherine, and we'll take that. Again, your tornado is now north of Greensboro. It is now passed just to the north of the city of Greensboro. So if you are in Greensboro, it looks like the danger is passing to your north. And I tell you what, I'm going to zoom into that. And there you go. That's your possible tornado. And I will say this, the rotation is not as pronounced as it was about 20 to 30 minutes ago. In fact, Danielle, we've been talking about that. This thing seems to be a little bit of a weakening trend, and hopefully that trend will continue.
Yes, Richard, but we've been tracking this storm from back in Mississippi, and we've seen several times after a few scans it starts to look to weaken, and then as soon as we say that, the next scan it starts to vamp back up. So again, this is a storm that's been going on for a long time. I do not believe it's been on the ground this entire time, but I do believe that it is still a strong rotating storm with the capabilities to be on the ground right now, and definitely over the past hour as we've been tracking it.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a good point you make, Danielle. This thing is cyclical and could certainly reorganize, but we do, I think, have some new information too from the National Weather Service.
We do have some new information. At this time, no plans to extend the warning due to some weakening, but we are still watching again if this strengthens back up at any time, Richard.
Yeah, so that is good. That is great to see. That's the first time I've seen that all evening with this actual storm, as the National Weather's talking about not planning on extending the warning. But again, there's a new scan, there's a new update, there's still a couplet there, so it needs to be watched very carefully. Again, a dangerous thunderstorm now just mainly north of Greensboro, and yeah, we're just looking for some notes from the National Weather Service. And here's the deal. This is how this works, is we're in communication with the National Weather Service office in Birmingham, and they're giving information to us, relaying information about the possibility of issuing warnings and things in that nature. But again, this is certainly a situation that bears watching. We're getting more reports from Highway 80. It looks like this was hard hit. Highway 80, multiple injuries being reported out of that. So again, that is not good information coming from Highway 80 just west of Demopolis. Getting reports of multiple injuries now. This was certainly a bad situation, a dangerous storm that has produced a confirmed tornado. We saw the picture there of the tornado just west of Demopolis, and this thing was huge when it was down. I don't know if it's still down or not. It may not, it may have lifted by now, but again, it's certainly a dangerous situation for a possible tornado that is on the ground. So again, we are watching this carefully. Coming up on 9 o'clock on this Monday night, we have a tornado that could still be down with a storm, but we haven't had a confirmation of that just yet. All right, so if just now join us, Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. This is certainly a night that we have been talking about for the potential for a few tornadoes, and that has indeed occurred over parts of West Alabama, especially back in Mississippi and North Alabama, hard hit with multiple tornadoes with this event. Let me take you out to a home view and show you kind of the wide perspective across central Alabama, and let's just see what is happening elsewhere, because I know we've got more active weather ongoing. There's no additional tornadic thunderstorms at the moment across central Alabama. We have that one storm that is happening in Hale County, just near and northeast of the city of Greensboro. We got active thunderstorms in Fayette County. The National Weather Service talking about that as well for some areas of rotation with that. And I tell you what, we've also got Danielle Davis. She's working on getting some pictures for us on social media about the damage in Marengo County. We're going to pull that up on air as soon as she gets that ready. But again, that was just west of Demopolis, some of those damage images we saw. But we still have a tornado warning that is for eastern Hale County now. The National Weather Service mentioning they may not extend that tornado warning if the rotation continues to weaken. Let me take you up here to the north and show you this in southern Fayette County. We got heavy rain, some lightning and thunder just south of the city of Fayette, impacting Berry and Bankston as we speak. And again, there's no tornado warning with this, but the Weather Service mentioning that there have been on and off signs of rotation with that. Down to the south in Tuscaloosa, we got rain falling now in the city of Tuscaloosa. There's no sign of this becoming severe at the moment. However, it will be carefully watched. Again, we don't see any sign of anything dangerous here in the city of Tuscaloosa at the moment. Go ahead.
Okay, Richard, I have those pictures up on the weather iPad right now if we want to go ahead and take those. This picture that I pulled up is a storm damage coming in just north of Lisbon and Choctaw County earlier. So you can see trees down on the road, and the people who were looking at this damage also reported that they saw a funnel cloud as well around this time.
Is that a Highway 17, or did they mention that?
They did not mention that.
Okay, so yeah, that's some storm damage. Again, Danielle's bringing to us of near the Lisbon area in northern Choctaw County. Again, you see some trees down over the highway. And let me mention this. This is what's so cool about Alabama is you see these people out here, late in the evening hours. We got dangerous weather nearby, and they're out there with chainsaws cutting the trees off the road so people can resume travel. That's one thing I love about Alabama is the fact that people are so willing to help. If a tornado hits your home, you're going to have people there trying to help you out, clean up damage and things like that. So that's one wonderful thing about Alabama is the people that are willing to help out when things like this happen. So keep that up. Keep up the good work on that. We'll go back over to graphics. And again, we still got the tornado warning for Hale County. Still an interesting looking storm coming through Greensboro. Let me take you into that. And anything new on that? Chelsea, we got Chelsea Aaron also in the Weather Center. Anything new with that?
Nothing new as of right now. They have continued again that tornado warning radar indicated. We have hail that's going to be 3/4 of an inch in size in Hale County. This tornado warning is going to last approximately again till 9:15. They have not decided to extend this yet, but this thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado near Greensboro. It's going to be moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So again, nothing, but it is still continuing that tornado warning.
So again, we still got the tornado warning for about 15 more minutes. And if you're in Greensboro, you got some pretty rough weather ongoing there as we speak. And again, I'm just looking at a couple things behind the scenes here, and looks like we got a severe thunderstorm warning down at Choctaw County. We're going to check on that here in just a moment. Had a few folks asking about that for Marengo County, but again, that's our storm of concern in Hale County. We'll pull on the velocity, and maybe a new couplet forming up here just east of Highway 69. That's kind of north of where the area concern was earlier. This is between Highway 69 and Highway 25. And let's watch that carefully. That's a couplet right there that's formed. Let's look at the information on that. And Chelsea and Danielle, we talked about that. That's a new couplet forming right there.
Yes, Richard. The National Weather Service actually, as soon as you just said that, says that there appears to be cells morphing a little into a booked vortice.
Yeah, bookend vortice. That's kind of like a comma head feature on this thing. That's what happened in the Huntsville area that produced several tornadoes. So we got about 70-mile-an-hour winds being indicated on radar off of this. So yeah, let's watch that carefully. There could be a new tornado forming. Let me tell you what, I'm going to zoom out just so you see a little bit of wider view where this thing is in reference to where you may be. And again, this is between Highway 69 and Highway 25. That's a fair couplet that's formed there. So that's certainly a dangerous looking thunderstorm.
And Richard, if you want to go over to CC and to our debris, I am seeing some lower values associated with that area as well.
Yeah, let's watch this carefully. That warning's supposed to expire. Yeah, there may be something that's down just south of Ingram. This would be heading northeast, basically going parallel to Highway 25 in Hale County. That's Bibb County. You got Pondville there, Brent, Highway 82, you see right there at the top of your screen. This is now northeast of the city of Greensboro. So, yeah, let's watch this carefully. I think we may have a new tornado trying to form here, and I can imagine the National Weather Service is going to kind of wait. Since there's still a tornado warning here, they may wait about a scan or two and see what's here, because I think that's a new tornado trying to form. And again, this is tracking northeast, and this is a comma head type of feature that's starting to form. And this is what produced several tornadoes in the Huntsville area earlier this afternoon and this evening. So things like that certainly bear watching. It's not your classic supercell type of structure, but it's still a dangerous thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. And again, the Weather Service mentioning we are watching that carefully. And again, I think anything from Marengo County?
Yes, Richard, from Marengo County, again, we see dozens of homes that are going to be damaged in Saltwell community. Again, only 3 original injuries have been reported, not anymore, but we definitely can probably expect some more with this dangerous storm.
And do we have a new tornado warning?
Yes, Richard.
Okay, go ahead.
Just right now, Birmingham issues another tornado warning for Bibb, Hale, and Perry County until 10 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 7 miles northeast of Greensboro, moving at northeast 35 miles per hour. So the system has slowed down just a little bit. We were looking at 40 miles per hour earlier, just down by 5 miles per hour. So a storm that we've been tracking for a long time now, from all the way back in Mississippi, continuing to weaken in strength and then vamp back up again. So we are closely monitoring this because it keeps producing enough energy to return back to strengthening.
Yeah, there's clearly evidence of a tornado that could be down on Highway 25. This is eastern Hale County where this new tornado could be reforming. Again, this is Perry County. We got the city of Marion down here in central Perry County. There's Pondville, that's in Bibb County. And this potential tornado is going to be riding basically Highway 25 up towards the Pondville community. Let me show you the Polygon, okay? So this is the warning, the new warning from the National Weather Service. See, that extends. I got to zoom this thing out so you can see everybody that is in the actual warning itself. And again, let me zoom out and show you a wider view. So this is the brand new tornado warning. Includes much of Bibb County, Brent and Centerville. This is north of the city of Marion. That's who's under the gun for this possible tornado that could be trying to redevelop in West Alabama and moving into central Alabama. So again, if you were in Bibb County, we got a brand new tornado warning that includes Brent and Centerville. The upper end of this is West Blockton. The lower end is where 219 runs into Perry County. Again, that's your red polygon, and that is a tornado warning that has been issued and extended off to the northeast. And Danielle, what was the time on that warning?
We're looking at a warning issued until 10 p.m. So another 55 minutes this tornado warning is issued for.
All right, so again, we got a dangerous situation of a tornado that could be redeveloping now. And again, I'm looking at several things here. We got so many reports now coming from northwest Marengo County from this actual thunderstorm that produced a lot of damage. And it looks like there's some serious damage from this thunderstorm. But we could have a brand new tornado that may be in the process of touching down, if it's not already. That's coming out of Hale County. But again, here's your tornado warning polygon. This does not include Tuscaloosa County. There's Duncanville. All right, this is to the southeast of Duncanville. So if you're driving on Highway 82, southeast of Duncanville, or northwest of Maplesville, pull over and let the storm pass by. This thing means business. It has produced multiple tornadoes. We have had reports of trucks blown off the road on Highway 80. We've had reports of structural damage. You saw the image of the tornado that was just west of Demopolis. It looked like a large, dangerous type of tornado, and this thing could still be down as it's now northeast of Greensboro, basically on Highway 25, coming up on Brent and Centerville as we speak. And let me put on the velocity and show you that. And again, we are carefully watching and monitoring information in the Weather Center as well. And again, this thing's moving northeast just like that towards Bibb County. Let me do a cone on this and show you where it's heading next. And if it holds together, if it crosses Bibb County, it may end up in Shelby County. Again, this is in eastern Hale County. There it is right there, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. These are the communities in the path. All right, so we got Pondville at 9:25, the city of Brent at 9:37. Okay, we got West Blockton, 9:51. All right, Seymour, we got 9:57. Gray Hill at 10:03. Again, if this continues off to the northeast, that's the times that will be in your community, and we urge you to take this thing serious. This thing has dropped, this storm has dropped multiple tornadoes. Some of those have been large tornadoes. It's still got tornadoes tonight. So again, this is a very dangerous situation for a tornado that could still be down. It's in eastern Hale County on Highway 25. It's moving northeast, so a dangerous situation for a tornado that could still be down. Again, these are estimated times of arrival. Do not wait until your time's up. Go ahead and go to that safe place. If you're in that tornado warning, if you're in West Block, you may have to wait a little while, but go to that safe place now. Get a bicycle helmet, anything to protect yourself from debris, a bike helmet, hard sole shoes. You'll need a flashlight, battery backup radio, and also anywhere across central Alabama, and we've been saying this all day, is make sure your cell phone is charged, because if you lose power and you're in an emergency situation where you've got to get information, or if you're in damage and you need to call somebody, you don't want your phone to die. So you got to have your phone charged and ready to go. So just ideas of what to do if a tornado is in your area. So again, these are the times of the arrival for this particular tornado. It's coming out of Hale County. It's going to stay well north of the city of Marion. It will be north of Heidelberger. It's going to be south of Duncanville in Tuscaloosa County. The tornado warning does not include Tuscaloosa County. We'll take this off and show you, again, there's your couplet right there. All right, so if you are in far northwest Perry County, we need you in a safe place right now. And this is going to be in Perry County for only about 10 minutes, and then it's going to be in Bibb County. There's your circulation right there, likely a tornado down. And I'll tell you what, Danielle, if you guys want to keep an eye on the correlation coefficient too, this thing may be able to be picking up debris shortly, because that is a very tight couplet from that. So again, what we're going to do, we're going to look at the information on this storm and see if we can tell the wind speed inside of this possible tornado. And again, we'll look, still nearly 100 miles an hour. This thing has been so consistent. When it pulses up, it gets about 100 miles per hour. That is a sign of a strong tornado that could be down. And that's going to be coming up on Pondville. So if you're in Pondville in southwest Bibb County, we need you in a safe place right now.
Richard, if you want to go ahead and pull up debris, I think we have a good debris signature on there.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. That's it. We got a tornado down that's in northwest Perry County that is just south of Highway 25. There's no doubt that's your tornado. There it is right there. See how it just moved a little bit. So it's heading directly towards Pondville. We got a tornado that's down that's crossing northwest Perry County, heading for Pondville. That's Highway 25. All right, so we got Highway 25 is going to be directly in the path of this tornado. And again, let's there's your tornado. Let me clear this off the screen and show you this information. Again, we got a tornado. There's no doubt there's one down. We're looking at the debris signature in northwest Perry County. Let me zoom in tight so you can see where it is. And this is a very rural part of Perry County, but again, that's it there. That's your possible tornado. Actually, we can say this is a tornado. We know that's what it is based off of debris this thing is picking up. Hogglesville's back to the northwest. This thing is southeast to you. We're looking at Perry County now. Again, where your tornado is, moving northeast just like that. So again, a very dangerous situation for a very sparsely populated part of Perry County. Fortunately, this is not in a major city. But again, we know folks live out here, and we want you to be in a safe place right now. If you're in a mobile home, you got to get out of that. Find a site-built structure, something that will protect you from debris, protect you from the violent winds of a tornado, because we got one down right there. We'll look at the velocity, and we'll be able to see the couplet on this. Again, there it is. And we've been sampling winds at about 100 miles per hour with this actual tornado. And it looks like this thing is likely still down. We see the debris, and it looks like the winds have come down a little bit, but we know there's still rotating wind. There's a rotating updraft. There's a tornado likely still down with this. We see that with the debris signature. So while the winds have come down just a little bit, do not let your guard down, because this is a very dangerous thunderstorm, and that is likely still producing a tornado right here in northwest portions of Perry County. So again, if you're in Perry County, northwest city of Marion, we need you in a safe place now, as we do have the potential for a tornado that is likely still down. So again, a dangerous situation for that storm. So let me zoom out, I want to take you in a home view real quick, show you everybody out there. And again, this is the only storm we have a concern at the moment. So that's one encouraging thing to see, Chelsea. I mean, that's one thing we're noticing is there's not many additional severe storms.
Yeah, Richard, currently, you know, we're getting several reports from the National Weather Service in Birmingham about this particular single storm that we have out there. This tornado will be crossing County Road 29 any minute. Other locations in the path include County Road 23, County Road 44, Highway 25 between Mertz and Pondville. So it's important to take shelter, be in your safe place now. As again, this is an imminent threat as we do have a tornado on the ground from these tornado debris signatures.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is the only tornado at the moment. This certainly could have been a night with the environment we've had for more than one of these, and we don't want to see any tornadoes, but at least we're not working multiple tornadoes. This is one tornadic thunderstorm that continues to produce tornadoes. It has done serious damage in northern Marengo County and southern Sumter County and northern Choctaw County. This has been a serious storm that has done a lot of damage, and we're going to continue to get those reports to you as well. So again, one dangerous thunderstorm. Quickly, I want to mention to everybody else out there, there's no issues currently ongoing for East Alabama. In fact, from Coleman to Tuscaloosa back to Livingston, we just got rain falling with some lightning and thunder involved with that. There's a storm we are watching in Fayette County, but at this moment, there's no sign of that becoming tornadic, but we will carefully watch it. Our storm of concern is this one down here that's moving into Bibb County. And this is one of those we were talking about earlier, a comma head type of feature. You see how it kind of makes a little bit of a comma head here. There's a rotating updraft back here. And this type of storm produced multiple tornadoes in North Alabama earlier this evening. So storms that look like this have produced tornadoes tonight in Alabama. North Alabama, closer to Athens and Huntsville. But again, storms like that have produced tornadoes, and it could be still happening here. So again, a dangerous situation for Brent in Centerville. We need you in a safe place right now as we have a likely tornado still down that is approaching from the southwest at about 35 miles per hour. I'll put on the velocity and we'll be able to see that. And it looks like the couplet may be broadening out a bit. But Danielle, you know, we talked about this. This does not mean it's over with.
Yes, for sure. I don't know how many times we can say this tonight. This tornado has gone from strengthening to weakening and back to strengthening over and over again. So we'll definitely need to continue to watch it over the next several scans. We were just saying before how the National Weather Service was considering not even extending the warning because the scans started to look like they were weakening, and then we're like, okay, now they're strengthening again over the next few scans. So again, weakening now, but definitely be in your safe zone. If you are in Pondville, even up to Phipps, I would say so as well. Just be ready for this. We do actually have some good news, though, coming out of the system from earlier. We reported 3 injuries. They were to a mother and her 2 young children, and those injuries have been reported as non-life-threatening. So we are looking at that. Continue to weaken right now, but again, continuing to watch it over the next several scans, hoping that it continues to weaken. But again, we are here live coverage on WVUA and on Facebook Live with all the latest information. Richard?
Yeah, Danielle, it looks like for Hale County, they're going to allow the tornado warning to expire because it's now out of Hale County, but it does continue for portions of northern Perry County. It's about to move completely into Bibb County now. So if you are in I'd say Pondville, you still need to be in a safe place because this thing could touch down again. So we still have a dangerous situation for a storm that's going to be moving into the Pondville area. That's Highway 25. That's where this is going to be crossing. So if you are in Highway 25 in Bibb County near Pondville, I want you to be in a safe place now. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and we'll get you through this thing. So again, this is certainly a dangerous situation for this thunderstorm that is in Perry County. And it is tracking off towards the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. And again, Danielle, we got you on the wall. Danielle, what are you seeing with this storm?
Richard, again, we are still tracking. Oh, actually, excuse me. Let me turn on the mic. We are still tracking
this storm as it moves through central Alabama. Again, this is our only warned storm right now. It is moving towards Pondville right now, just north of Morgan Springs, crossing Highway 25. As we speak right now, this velocity couplet has been on radar over the last several scans, looking to weaken right now. But again, we've heard that over and over again for the afternoon with the same exact system, tracking it all the way back from Mississippi back up to Pondville right now. So I do believe it has been on the ground and off the ground over the last hour and a half. But right now, again, weakening. Here's a look at all of central Alabama right now, tracking these systems. We saw some light rotation up here in Pickens County earlier, moving off to the east. Not a warned system, but we are continuing to monitor that as it moves its way through central Alabama. Again, the only warned storm down here just north, or just south, excuse me, of Pondville with that rotation right here. So,
hey, Danielle, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take over the computer here. I'm going to track this with you from the weather wall, and I'll go into that storm, and you're talking about the one down over Bibb County now. That's it. Yes. We're watching.
Yes, we are watching this storm right here. It looks like it's just about to cross Highway 25 just south of Pondville. If you are in Pondville, you need to get in your safe area right now. Interior room, no windows, as far indoors as possible on the first level. And be sure to have a helmet, take a pillow, put it over your head. Definitely do not be outside trying to get a video of this tornado. Likely on the ground. I do believe, Richard, if we want to turn over to the debris CC, see if we can see any debris up in the air. Okay, so not seeing much debris. We were seeing it over the last few scans, so it has looked like it's starting to weaken just a bit. There we go. We can see it south, moving forward. Yes, so we aren't seeing debris signatures right now, which is very good news. When we see debris signatures, that is a good indication that that tornado is on the ground and lofting that debris up in the atmosphere for our radar to catch. So again, crossing Highway 25 right now, just south of Pondville. Again, a tight rotation still, starting to weaken over the past few scans, but still a strong, severe, likely tornado moving its way towards Pondville. Richard, can we track the future scans and see where it's going to be moving to?
Let's do a path on this, Danielle. And again, this is moving off towards the northeast, and there's your, tell you what, let me clear that off. What we're looking at, and again, Danielle, what we've been pointing out is the storm has shown some sign of weakening, and hopefully that trend will continue. But again, there's your path right there.
Yes, here's the path. So we're looking at Pondville, 9:30. Get in your safe zone right now. If you're in Ingate, get in there as well. Vernon Town, 9:57. Again, this warning is issued until 10 o'clock tonight. So if you are in any of these 3 locations from Pondville to Vernon Town, I would definitely say get in that safe location right now. Red Eagle, you can wait just a few to see if that warning is continued issued past 10 o'clock and move towards you. Piper, 10:14, the system will be through. Again, we've been monitoring it all the way back from Mississippi. It's been weakening and strengthening. So if you are in these far locations and that warning isn't pushed to your area yet over in Seymour, definitely stay weather aware. Continue to watch our coverage in case that warning is issued and extended to those areas and past 10 o'clock. So, Richard, if we want to go ahead and look back at radar and see if we can see any type of hook or any indication of a bounded weak echo region, that is another good indicator that there is rotation spinning in the air.
Yeah, let me pull on Birmingham reflectivity, Danielle, and again, that's what we're looking at. It certainly has lost that characteristic we had earlier.
Yes, this is definitely a messy characteristic. We're not seeing there are several types of echoes that we're looking for. This is not looking very well defined as it was earlier. So that is a good indication. Again, right now crossing Highway 25 to Pondville. If we want to take a look at radar across central Alabama maybe.
Yeah, and Danielle, I'll tell you what, while we do that, I want to show you this because this is how this storm has kind of changed a little bit. I'm going to go back a couple of hours to just show you how this thing was an individual supercell in Sumter County, and you see how it moved through Demopolis. And watch how it's really changed those characteristics. Now it's more of a line of storms instead of an individual supercell, which is a good thing.
Yes, but definitely we are still looking at, even if we're not seeing a tornado, damaging straight line winds going to be an issue, so we may have several trees being thrown down to the ground. Fortunately, hopefully not from a tornado, but strong damaging winds still a possibility, and hail possible as well. Earlier, Richard, I was looking at the vertical integrated liquid and echo tops, which really show the height of this storm, and it was very strong and very high up in the atmosphere, which shows a lot of convection with this system over central Alabama. So Pondville right now moving up towards the northeast. Not as well defined of a system as we were seeing earlier. Do we have any more damage reports coming out of the system back earlier, Richard?
You know,
Chelsea?
so far so good, Danielle. We're not seeing a whole lot back here, which is good. All the damage we've been getting is back into Highway 80 just west of Demopolis. We had some serious damage from this. But Danielle, I do want to take us up to Fayette County. We kind of had some concern about a storm up there that has shown some sign of rotation. And this is the one that's basically on the Fayette and Walker County line that's moving off towards the northeast. So let's look at the velocity, just kind of see. And yeah, there's a little bit of a couplet there.
So we're seeing a little bit of rotation, not a warned storm, making its way through West Corona right now and towards Coal Valley. So rotation, not a warned storm. And honestly, I was looking at that structure too, and it does look to be a strong system, definitely producing strong damaging winds. Richard, can you pull up maybe what the wind speeds are like around that area?
Yeah, let's look at that. And again, we've got some fairly strong winds with this, and they're okay, so the National Weather Service, Danielle, they're going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Perry County. Okay. I'm not sure if they're going to cancel the tornado warning or if they are going with a severe thunderstorm warning. We're working on that right now, but again, the storm you're looking at is moving into Walker County. That is not a tornado warning, but again, we are seeing some pretty strong wind with it.
Yeah, strong winds. We're looking at 28 miles per hour, and it is moving through West Corona right now. So again, if you have seen strong damaging winds move through your area as well, be sure to send in those pictures of trees maybe down on the road or anything like that. We'd love to see those pictures and get those reported to the National Weather Service and Emergency Management so they can be moved through. Again, we're looking at central Alabama right now. The only warned system is right here just south of Tuscaloosa County, making its way back to the northeast. I'm looking to move towards Brent right now, West Blockton. I'm just north of there, so you aren't being affected right now. Move past and through Highway 25. Looks like it actually has just moved to the east of Pondville instead of crossing right through it, moving towards Brent as we speak. Pulling up CCs, is that what you were going to do, Richard?
Yeah, let's look at that and just kind of see.
Okay, we're seeing some light CCs, which may indicate, honestly, we may be seeing some leaves blowing around. It is the fall, winter time. It's winter time, but we live in the south, so we are seeing a lot of leaves still down on the ground. So it could just be throwing leaves around, maybe some light branches that may not be from a tornado exactly, just from strong damaging winds. This really looks at the characteristics of how objects are moving. So again, it could be leaves, it could be just a few light branches, not necessarily a complete tornado with how little debris we are seeing.
Yeah,
right
Danielle,
here.
I'll pull up the velocity and you can kind of see what's happening here. And I think you're right. I think this is more turning a straight line wind with that. And you know, radar has become so advanced now, we can actually see things on the ground. And you know, you're right, the leaves and things like that being blown around from the strong straight line winds could be something what we're seeing there.
Yeah, I think so, Richard. This couplet really has started to weaken over the last few scans. You know, we've been seeing earlier it would weaken and then strengthen. Over the past several scans, it has continuously started to weaken. So I do believe it is on the downslope from here, hopefully, fortunately. And again, really, I'm expecting winds to just be very strong, very heavy, blowing maybe some more lighter things around, leaves, branches, and twigs. So looking over Tuscaloosa right now, this storm is just to the southeast of us, and this is looking over Tuscaloosa, Bryant-Denny Stadium. This is where our camera's located. Temperatures here in Tuscaloosa, 68. It is warm, which is not good for severe weather. So that is not a good news to see. But winds here in Tuscaloosa south 10 miles per hour. So no strong winds here in Tuscaloosa right now. That storm system that we were just looking at is south of Tuscaloosa County, and it's making its way back to the northeast, not affecting Tuscaloosa right now. Seeing some rain. Nothing severe here in Tuscaloosa. Again, just south of us. Only warned storm right now is moving and weakening just to the southeast southeast, I believe. Yes.
Yeah,
just to the
southeast.
southeast.
And I want to show that, Danielle. We're looking at the lightning from Tuscaloosa. You kind of see some occasionally, but of course, as soon as we pop it up, there's none there. Just our
That's
luck,
always
I
how that
guess.
works.
But again, we have seen quite a bit of lightning. Looks like this storm has turned more towards east, Danielle. Look at the loop on this past 30 minutes, and this thing is really, instead of moving northeast like it was, it's kind of turned more towards east direction. So again, that is in central Bibb County, moving off towards the east. Officially, the warning is off to the northeast, but again, that's the latest on that. I want to show you the watch warning map and the latest across central Alabama. We still have a tornado watch in effect for much of Alabama that goes until 11 o'clock tonight. We've got one tornado warning that is over in Bibb County. And again, this is a dangerous situation for possible tornado that is down, that has been reported over the past, several hours. I mean, since it came through Mississippi, this continues to move off towards the north and east at about 35 miles per hour. So again, there's our tornadic thunderstorm there. We got Perry County, and new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for that. But again, this tornadic thunderstorm over Bibb County seems to be weakening. Okay. And I believe we have an update from Demopolis, and we got the police chief down there, and some damage reports. What's going on?
Well, we had one house that was completely damaged in a storm, and we recovered 3 people safely out of that house, and they have been transported to the hospital for medical attention.
And again, we're talking to Rex Flowers, the Demopolis police chief, and Rex, is there any report on the nature of the injuries? Or the serious injuries, minor injuries? Can you get that information out?
They appear to be minor. They was alert and talking.
So a minor injury, so that's good. Any type of structures that were damaged? Can you tell me anything that was damaged? Like, was it a mobile home or site-built structures?
It appeared to be a mobile home.
Okay.
And we had an 18-wheeler that was overturned also. That guy is in good condition. He was alert and talking as well.
How's the city of Demopolis? A lot of people are asking about Demopolis. This tornado is really close to town. Any damage in the city of Demopolis, or is this just to the north?
It was all to the west of here. We have, our officers are still riding, looking, but they don't see anything as of yet.
All right, and again, we're speaking with Rex Flowers, Demopolis Police Chief. Thank you so much for that report. And if you guys come up on anything, please let us know. And that information is certainly vital for people downstream dealing with this same storm. So, again, Rex Flowers, Demopolis Police Chief, thank you for that update.
All right, thank you very much.
And again, we still got a tornado warning, and what the deal is, we're having more and more damage reports from this one particular thunderstorm, and that's it right there down over Bibb County. And it seems like this storm may be finally running out of some steam, but understand we've said that several times, and it pulls back up. But again, that's the warning with that actual thunderstorm. So let me take you over to radar. I want to show you this because we've got quite a few thunderstorms across central Alabama. The only storm of concern is this one in Bibb County. Everything else is below severe criteria. So there are no other issues in terms of damage across Alabama, damaging winds, or even tornado reports across Alabama. This is it in our part of the state. Is what's over Bibb County now. We got strong straight line winds over Perry County, but no indication of a tornado with that at the moment. So again, that's the latest on that. Let me zoom into Bibb County and show you what we've got there. Again, we've got a dangerous thunderstorm that could be still producing a tornado. This is a loop over the past 30 minutes. And let me just show you what this thing is. And again, this is what we call a comma head. It's technically a bookend vortice, but again, we got a rotating large mesocyclone up here, and this thing has occasionally dropped a couple of tornadoes in the past 20 to 30 minutes, but it looks like this thing may be weakening. We've also got a Chelsea air in the Weather Center in Chelsea. Anything coming from the National Weather Service office in Birmingham on this storm?
We do have more information coming from that tornado warning. Again, that tornado warning for Bibb County is going to last till 10 p.m.
Okay.
This severe thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. You know, we've been talking about it weakening and strengthening. Again, we still need to keep an eye on this storm. It's moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. We also do have a new watch in the works that will include eastern counties and extend to the Georgia state line. So I-85 counties and northward.
Okay, so we're going to have a new tornado watch for East Alabama, which makes sense. These storms begin to move into that part of the state. But again, so that's the look at that storm. And I tell you what, you know, the rotation is certainly not as impressive as it was just a little bit earlier. But if you are in Brent and Centerville, we still want you to be in a safe place. This thing can spin up very quickly. We've seen that happen several times, but it certainly looks like this is transitioning into more of a quick spin-up tornado type of situation for Bibb County. So again, we want you in a safe place in Brent and Centerville. There's Highway 82. What's left of the circulation will be coming up on Highway 82 within a matter of about 15 to 20 minutes as it moves off to the northeast. And again, this storm is moving northeast at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So let's do a track on this thing. There's your speed, heading northeast like that. And again, here's some of the community times of arrival, when this thing is going to be in your particular community if it holds together. Understand the rotation is really weakened over the past 10 to 15 minutes, so this thing may die out altogether. But we're talking about the Piper community at 10:03. By the way, Brent, Centerville pretty much now. Gary Springs at about 9:50. We got Wilton at about 10:15 rather. Montevallo, if it holds together, that's in Shelby County at about 10:18, and Calera at 10:30. Again, that's if this thing holds together or begins to ramp back up. That is the time the rotation will be over those communities. Let me clear this off. And certainly the rotation is not nearly as impressive as it was just a little bit earlier. Let me zoom into that. I'll show you what we're talking about. So if you're in Brent, in Centerville, rather than seeing this tight couplet, we're just kind of seeing broad rotation. But Danielle, we've talked about this several times. So we got Danielle Davis in the Weather Center. We've seen it weaken, but then it ramp back up. Yes,
it continues to do that. We just got word from the National Weather Service. I started to read that right as you called over here. He says rear inflow jet, a bunch of weather terms in there with circulation, just not as strong as it has been at the moment to see it ramp back up. So we are putting a hold on the warning extending at this time. But we are still closely monitoring this system over the next several scans. It continues to just sit at this awkward spot where we're really just have to wonder, is it weakening? Is it continuing to weaken? Or is it really in the motion of starting to ramp back up? That's the trouble of radar, is we don't have a visual sight on the storm to see just how strong it is at the surface. So again, if you have pictures or videos of this storm as it passed through your town and are currently safe and can go out and get some of that damage that we've seen, please be sure to send those to us on social media so we can get the damage reported and continue to monitor this tornado and the path that it's going through.
Yeah, so again, we got a storm that could pulse back up. The National Weather Service, as Danielle mentioned, kind of a holding pattern for, you know, if it begins to ramp back up, they'll continue the tornado warning. So it's just kind of one of those, let's watch this thing carefully. In fact, just as we say that, it looks like the winds may be picking back up in this thing. So again, it may be trying to ramp back up. So if you are in Brent and Centerville, we still want you in a safe place now. There's Gary Springs. That's Highway 25. Goes up to 6 Mile. If you're familiar with that part of Bibb County, we got the Cahaba River up there. A lot of folks put in near the 6 Mile area. But again, that's where this tornadic thunderstorm is going to be heading if it continues to show sign of rotation. And keep in mind, even if the rotation does decide to fizzle out, this thing could easily spin back up. And we also got the Hale County EMA director on the phone now, Russell Whedon. What are you seeing down there in Hale County?
Yes, sir. So far, we found very little damage. We've checked almost every road. We've had a couple sporadic trees down. We have a couple trees down up in the Friendship area where the tornado had ramped back up at. But we have no structural damage and no injuries.
You know, Russell, we were really worried about Greensboro for a while. Looks like this thing is ramping up as it came out of Demopolis and heading right for Greensboro. But you haven't heard of any damage in the Greensboro area?
No, sir. Our deputies have been out and we've checked every road in the projected path, and we haven't had any damages or trees down in that path.
All right, again, Russell Whedon with Hale County EMA Director. We want to thank you for that information because that is an encouraging thing to hear with this actual storm. This thing has done so much damage from back in Mississippi, but we certainly want to thank you for that update. If you come across anything, please let us know.
Yes, sir, will do. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Again, so that is an encouraging thing to see. The EMA Director down in Hale County reporting very little damage there, a few trees down, and that is it from a storm that has produced a lot of damage over the past several hours. And goodness, the lighting from Tuscaloosa is pretty interesting as well. Danielle?
Richard, I just want to point out we're looking at, let's go ahead and look at the reflectivity of the area. I'm really wondering as we look at this storm if we are seeing it really starting to weaken or if it's becoming a bounded weak echo region, which shows signs of the rotation starting to strengthen.
Yeah, that is an interesting looking storm. I'm glad you point that out because this thing has certainly got an interesting characteristic. So we need to watch this very close. If you are in Brent and Centerville, this thing could ramp back up. And what Danielle's talking about is that place right there for a potential bounded weak echo region, which is basically a rotating updraft, a mesocyclone, and kind of an area with little precip in the middle there. And again, that's what we're looking at. It looks like we got a severe thunderstorm warning just being posted east of that thunderstorm, and maybe turning more of a straight line wind here. But again, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning just added. Let me show you that on the watch warning map. And again, I'll zoom out so you can see a wider view. But yeah, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning, the Polygon that is in the orange shaded. That includes all of Chilton County, every bit of Chilton County in a severe thunderstorm warning. We got most of Perry County and again portions of Bibb County. There's a tornado warning Polygon, the red Polygon, that continues tonight for the potential for a tornado that could still be down. This has been one of those storms that has dropped multiple tornadoes. Again, we talked with the Hale County EMA Director, and he's mentioning not much damage in Hale County, which is great. Had a lot of damage near Demopolis. We had a lot of damage in northern Choctaw County and southern portions of Sumter County right on 17. And again, the damage continues in terms of the potential for damage with this storm, or we could see additional damage being produced with this storm. So again, we don't want to let your guard down as we do have that risk. This thing could drop a new tornado. And again, we did mention earlier there's going to be a new tornado watch added for East Alabama shortly as these storms are beginning to work out of the original watch box. So let me show you the wide view, the reflectivity. And one good thing is there is nothing back here to the west. It looks like this is it in terms of severe weather. All this back in Tuscaloosa, Livingston, even towards Demopolis, that's all just rain. There's no sign of anything additional developing in terms of severe weather. I think this is pretty much over with for Coleman, Haleyville, Hamilton. We can say Tuscaloosa, Utah. Looks like this event is coming to an end. I don't see any sign of anything becoming severe in those areas, but we still have, again, a tornado warning for Bibb County, as we do have the risk of possibly an additional tornado develop from that. Let me take you to Bibb County. Let's talk about that since we do have the tornado warning for you. And so far, there's your storm right there, right on top of Brent. So far, we have not seen any strong indication of rotation. Let me pull on the velocity. And yes, so far, I do not see any sign of anything in terms of strong rotation with that. So again, if you're in Brent or Centerville, we still have some weak rotation, but there's not anything that's screaming evidence that there's a tornado down with that. So hopefully this trend will continue. But again, a heads up if you're on 25 up towards Gary Springs and 6 Mile towards the Shelby County line. Let's watch it in case this thing decides to ramp back up and possibly produce a new tornado. We've seen it happen a couple of times tonight, and here's a new scan. And so far, I don't see any strong evidence of rotation, and it is right on top of Centerville and Brent as we speak. Again, we got Danielle Davis also monitoring things in the Weather Center. And Danielle, one good thing is the trend continues to be not that impressive with the rotation.
Yes, Richard, we are looking at it starting to weaken. I've taken a look over again at the debris, nothing on debris. So that is very good news coming out of this system over by Brent and Gary Springs. Again, clear from debris right now on radar, but we are still looking at lots of lightning associated with this whole system as well. We were looking at Tuscaloosa just earlier, seeing plenty of lightning all across central Alabama. Taking a look at hazards, and we aren't seeing a hazard tornado rotation icon like we were earlier, so that's very good news. But again, back on velocity, we still do have a couplet not very tight, again continuing to weaken, which is great news. But still, again, if you are in Brent, Gary Springs, be sure you are in your safe area in your house as it continues to push through and a warning is still issued with this system. Richard.
All right, thank you, Danielle, for the update. Again, we continue to monitor this. It looks like the rotational couple has really come down a bit. And I tell you what, we're going to get some of those damage pictures and that Demopolis tornado back on TV here in just a moment. If we get that on the weather iPad, we'll show that and just show you what this storm has done in the past. But again, let's pull up on the reflectivity, and there's no doubt there's still some evidence of rotation here. You got an inflow notch, and again, this is where your possible tornado would be over Brent or Centerville, but I just don't see a lot of sign of this thing producing a tornado at the moment. There's still a tornado warning. Let's take it serious. This thing has spun down several tornadoes. So again, if you were in Gary Springs up towards 6 Mile, let's go ahead and stay in that safe place. If you're in a mobile home, we want you to get out of that and find a site-built structure or storm shelter to get into, because this thing could produce a new tornado. But so far, indications are of a weakening trend with this storm. And that has been the case for the past 15 to 20 minutes. And if that does continue, the National Weather Service may consider allowing this warning to expire from this storm. So again, there's your comma head looking feature. That's an inflow notch right there. If there's a tornado down, it's going to be on the east side of Brent now, right on Highway 82, basically crossing where Highway 82 and Highway 25 meet. That's where the tornado is going to be if there's one there. And again, it's tracking northeast. We got 6 Mile right there, Gary Springs right there. And if you have any reports, if you have anything from damage, please let us know. That is vital when it comes to the warning process. If you see something down with a storm, let us know. At WVUA 23 on Twitter. Also, Richard Scott, you can find us on Facebook. And we're checking that information constantly to make sure there's no reports of anything down with that. So again, this storm continues to show signs of weakening. It's now right on top of Brent and Centerville. It's basically tracking on Highway 25 off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. There's Montevallo. That's in Shelby County. And I'll show you the warning Polygon. And this is it right here. Again, we got a tornado warning for eastern and central Bibb County. I do want to mention Perry County's out of the tornado warning. Hale County's out of the tornado warning. We got central and east Bibb County that's still under the gun for a possible tornado here with this. But so far, things are looking a little bit better in terms of rotation. There's not much there. We'll pull that up. Look at the velocity. Again, there's just nothing screaming at the moment of rotation. So we'll continue to watch that, but at the moment, this storm may be spinning down.
Richard, if we want to go ahead and take the weather iPad, I can show where this storm's been earlier, the damage it's caused, and we have some cool images of people in Brent right now. So this is actually earlier from the system in Lisbon, excuse me, with wind damage from these trees falling down on the highway, on the road. Again, people being very helpful already out there cleaning up. This is an image of the tornado earlier, again, not right now, earlier on in the day as it crossed into Marengo County, I believe. So very cool image coming out of there, but again, very dangerous and deadly situation moving through there earlier. Looking at Brent right now, this is actually the Brent tornado shelter. So this is awesome images to get people being safe and filling up the tornado shelter earlier. This photo from Josh Lambert, actually. So people taking precautions, getting in the safe spot. Again, if you are in a mobile home and you are in these locations right now that we're talking about, very important that you are have taken shelter in another area. Again, this is in Brent. They're watching coverage right now. It looks to be like in this picture, and definitely very good and positive things to see that people were taking the precautions with this system.
Yeah, Danielle, and again, we always tell people to never be complacent with these situations, even though these storms just seem to be in a weakening trend. Always keep in mind these things can pulse back up pretty quick. Let's go back over to graphics, and I'll show you this storm. And again, the encouraging thing to see is rotation is really shown sign of weakening, continues to do so. I don't see any sign of rotation with this at the moment. Again, what we've been concerned about is this tornadic storm that is over Brent and Centerville. Is now moving northeast, basically up Highway 25. But at the moment, there's no sign of anything down with this. So that is good. However, let's watch it carefully. As we know, this thing could spin back up and produce a new tornado. It's about 9:45 now. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott, if you're just now joining us, we've been in tornado coverage for a while now for one storm that has produced multiple tornadoes. It started back in Mississippi, moved into West Alabama, impacting northern portions of Choctaw County, Marengo County, areas close to Demopolis, dealing with a lot of that damage, especially just on the west side of town. We have heard encouraging news from Hale County, the EMA director mentioning hardly any damage at all, some trees down, things like that. But again, we have not seen a lot of damage in the past 20 to 30 minutes from this storm. So hopefully this trend will continue with a weakening look. Let me show you the reflectivity on this. This is the rain inside the storm. And again, we still got that suspicious area on the back side, but the entire thing itself seems to be in a weakening phase. We will continue to watch this very carefully. Let me show you a wide view. I want to take you back out to where everybody can be seen across central Alabama. So I know a lot of folks asking about different parts of the state, and really the threat of severe weather is coming to an end for West Alabama. If you're Tuscaloosa to Demopolis and Linden, Livingston, I don't see any sign of anything becoming severe. Our only concern right now is this leading edge here where there is some severe weather ongoing. The air is a little more stable back here where the rain's been falling for a while. In fact, it looks like the tornado watch may have been allowed to expire for parts of West Alabama. We'll pull on that. And again, yeah, we got Marion County, Winston counties now out of the tornado watch. Would not be surprised if the Weather Service decides to take the tornado watch out of some of these additional counties from West Alabama. But again, so far they continue the tornado watch until 11 o'clock tonight. And it looks like we got a new watch for East Alabama. Go ahead.
Actually, Richard, National Weather Service in Birmingham has actually issued that tornado watch for more of those eastern counties that, like we were talking about, in Bibb, Blount, Chilton, Etowah, Jefferson, Perry, Shelby, and St. Clair County. Now this is going to be till 4 a.m.
All right, so we got a new tornado watch till 4 a.m. for East Alabama as these storms continue to work in from the northwest. In fact, I want to take you out to our camera in Tuscaloosa and show you this real quick. And again, what you're looking at is just some of the conditions here in the Tuscaloosa area. The dew points are still in the 60s right now, but what we've got is very warm, muggy air mass in place. Here's a live look. This is from Bron-Deedy Stadium in Tuscaloosa. The rain is falling. Temperature 68 right now, but we've still got a south wind of about 11 miles per hour. We've seen some lightning, quite a bit of lightning with some of these storms tonight, but here in the Tuscaloosa area, currently looks like most of the lightning has come to an end. But don't be surprised if you see some additional lightning with some of this activity overnight tonight. I want to look at our computer model. This is the HRRR, and just kind of show you how this thing could look for the rest of tonight. And notice how these storms move on towards the east. And if you notice this, by 1 a.m., it's pretty much out of central Alabama. So I do think this is going to be over with for our local area well before 4 a.m. I think by about 1 or 2 o'clock, things are going to be pretty much coming to an end across Alabama. So all right, if you're in West Alabama, the risk of severe weather is coming to an end. Here's the radar loop to show you that. How the storm's kind of evolved over the past several hours. Looks like more of a linear type of feature now, which is good to reduce the tornado risk a bit. But notice back in Mississippi, there's no additional development that is concerning. And once this line moves on through, you're back in some stable air. So I don't think we'll have any additional issues once this line passes east of your area. So again, just checking with any reports. So far, I don't see anything from the National Weather Service on this, which is good. That's kind of nice to see.
Yes, Richard, very good news coming out of the last maybe 30 minutes or so. We're not seeing any other damage reports from this tornado warning. Again, over the past several scans, it has started to weaken. So definitely good news, but again, we were seeing reports earlier of 3 people damaged, a mother and 2 younger children. They were injured, fortunately non-life-threatening injuries, but other than that, we've just seen a few structural damage reports from earlier over back in, I believe, Marengo County. But other than those, that's all I've heard of over the past several hours of tracking this system.
Yeah, it seems like things are beginning to quieten down just a bit. Still need you to be on guard if you're ahead of these storms across central Alabama. But again, if you're in West Alabama, the risk of anything severe is beginning to come to an end if you are west of these storms right now. So if the storm's already passed through your area, you are okay. For the remainder of the night. Again, there's your rain back to the west. Your severe weather issues are on the leading edge of this. This is where we still have the potential for a tornado or two, or perhaps some damaging straight line winds. This storm continues to show signs of weakening here over Bibb County. Again, this is moving off towards the northeast. Let me take you into this storm and show you this. What was left of the circulation went right over Brent and Centerville. I didn't hear any reports out of there of any damage. But again, what's left of this, it's coming into northern Chilton County and southern Shelby. That's the area of rotation that we had. You can kind of see that spin, that broad spin with this storm. See how it came through Brent and Centerville, and again, it's now moving east there at a pretty good clip. In fact, let's look at the velocity just to make sure the rotation is not ramping back up. And yeah, I'm not seeing much right there. So that is an encouraging thing to see. Here's Shelby County. There's Calera right there. We got the Oakley community. We got 6 Mile. What's left of the rotation is right here on Highway 25. It's almost out of Bibb County. And in fact, the tornado warning is set to expire, I believe, at 10:15 for eastern Bibb County. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea or Danielle. I think it's going to expire at 10:15.
It expires at 10 p.m.
Okay, so 10 o'clock. So they'll let this warning go till 10 o'clock, but we'll watch carefully to see if the National Weather Service decides to continue this tornado warning or not. But so far, I don't see any indication of this thing spinning back up, which is great to see. Again, there's 6 Mile, that's Highway 25. Montevallo sits right there, so if the Weather Service is going to issue a new tornado warning, it would need to be now. But based off the lack of rotation with this storm, more than likely, we're not going to get a new tornado warning out of this unless we do see this thing begin to rotate and increase just a bit. So coming up at 10 o'clock, if we don't get a tornado warning, we will plan to go into our regular news. Catherine, if you have any updates on that, please let me know. Okay, so yeah, so we go into 10 o'clock, we're going to allow this tornado warning to expire. So if this warning does not continue an additional 30 minutes to an hour, if this tornado warning does indeed expire at 10 o'clock, we'll go into our regular 10 p.m. news. But again, that's what the latest on that. We got a weakening rotation now in eastern Bibb County. There's just not much left to it. I don't see any sign of this becoming better organized. To go to reflectivity. All right, there's your watch warning. That's what's left of your warning right there. Let's go to Birmingham and show you that. Let's see if I can get that on there. Let's go back to velocity. Again, that's what's left of your rotation. There's just not much there. So again, just checking some of the reports. I haven't seen any sign of damage. I've not heard of any reports in a while, which is great to see. Hopefully that trend will continue. But again, that's the latest on that. So you're looking at reflectivity. You're looking at the rain inside of this storm. And, it's an interesting looking storm, but I just don't see much to it is in terms of producing a tornado, which is an encouraging thing to see. So that's on top of 6 miles, pretty heavy rainfall, but it certainly looks like the tornado threat has ended with that storm for now. So let me show everybody out there. Let me give you a recap of what's happening. Again, it's about 5 minutes till 10 o'clock. We've got what's left of the tornado warning in East Bibb County. There's no other tornado warnings at the moment. All the activity you see back over West Alabama is just rain and some lightning and thunder. I don't have any reports from any of these storms in terms of damage. Looks like this is just going to be mostly a rain event. Let me take you back into the reports and show you what has happened so far across Alabama. And again, we had a number of tornado reports back in East Mississippi. Those continue into the Demopolis area. And then notice the lack of reports up here to the northeast of that. It seemed like the storm, once it got past Demopolis, just decided to quit producing these big tornadoes like it did back in Mississippi. And we did have that one area of damage, that one area we saw the debris in northwest Perry County, but other than that, we haven't seen anything in a while. We've had lots of reports back to the north over North Alabama in terms of damage. We've had several confirmed tornadoes, so you see all the damage reports there, but notice the lack of reports across central Alabama. Today is December 16th. This is the 19-year anniversary of the Tuscaloosa tornado that hit back in December 16th of 2000. It was an F4 that hit Tuscaloosa, killing 11 people. A lot of people kind of upset about this event coming in with the risk of severe weather. We have had severe weather issues across our state, but fortunately, none in the Tuscaloosa area or the Birmingham area. Things are pretty quiet. In terms of rainfall, that continues across Alabama, but we have not had any issues over the past 30 minutes in terms of rotating thunderstorms produce a lot of damage. So let's go back to the storm down here in Bibb County. So we got the Birmingham radar. And Chelsea and Danielle, if you guys hear anything back there in the Weather Center, let us know. And so far, so good. We need to watch this line carefully. We got this little kind of kink in the line there. You need to watch things like that for any rotation. Let's pull on the velocity. And yeah, there's not much there, fortunately. But again, let's watch this carefully. The National Weather Service could allow that tornado warning to expire in about 2 minutes unless something changes with the rotation. But I'm just not seeing much with that. So that is an encouraging thing to see. Let's take you back over to our Futurecast model, our radar, just kind of show you how this thing could shake out for the rest of the night. Notice by midnight, most of this is on out of here. In fact, if you're over here in East Alabama, you'll continue to deal with this through about midnight or so, but after 1 a.m., I think things are going to begin to quiet down just a bit across Alabama. And then tomorrow morning, the cold air takes over. So this event's pretty much coming to an end pretty quickly across the area. The tornado risk is coming to an end. Okay. We got a temperature of 68 in Tuscaloosa. I think for West Alabama, while it's still warm and muggy, it looks like the chance for anything tornadic is beginning to diminish. Dew points are still very high in the 60s. We've got a live look. This is from Bron-Diddy Stadium in Tuscaloosa. We've been watching the lightning, the heavy rainfall.
Richard?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Richard, we have a new warning issued. Tornado warning for Bibb, Chilton, Shelby County until 10:45. So they have extended a warning for the area. Again, severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornado and extensive straight line damaging winds. That's definitely a main threat with this system located along a line of extending from Breerfield Ironworks Park to Chilton County Motorsports northeast, and it's moving northeast at 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, Briarfield area, what we're talking about for the potential for tornadoes. So let me go back over to radar, and we were getting set up for the 10 o'clock news, but that's not going to happen now because we have a brand new tornado warning that has been issued for parts of central Alabama with this storm, even though rotation has decreased. We have a new tornado warning in effect. So we're going to cancel plans to go into our 10 o'clock news because it's got a tornado warning for an additional 45 minutes for this storm. So let's take you into this and tell you what, I'm going to pull on the velocity.
Yeah, Richard,
go
we
ahead.
are looking at, I'll go ahead and say, it does look like there has been a little increase in that rotation. I'll zoom in on it for you. So I do think that this is
Yeah.
still a very concerning storm, and I do believe it was smart for us to extend this warning for it. It is starting to look like it's, starting to
Here,
ramp back
I'll
up.
get it, Danielle. Yeah, so you're looking to the northeast here. This is over Bibb County. Again, there's the Briarfield area right there. There's Oakley, Bibb Mill down to the south. Montevallo, you're under the gun for the possible tornado that could spin up with this. And did the National Weather Service mention any reports out of this for the reason they triggered this warning?
They do say that they saw a brief debris signature northeast
Wow.
of Centerville, just south of US 25, west of County Road 57. They thought that the tornado signature was starting to strengthen up a bit. So that is why.
Yeah,
they've
maybe
issued it
something
again.
trying to spin right there. You see right there near the Ashby community, there's Briarfield right there. That's Highway 139 that runs into southern Shelby County. Again, there may be some rotation trying to develop here. And let's look at the correlation coefficient, just kind of see with you. Again, yeah, there's debris right there. Look at that. That's a tornado down. This thing spun up quick. So we do have a tornado down just west of Briarfield. That's Highway 139 right there. We got Ashby, Highway 25 up here. Again, this tornado that is confirmed, there's one right there, is moving right towards that intersection of 139 and Highway 25. That's in southwest Shelby County. That's where that tornado is actually going as we speak.
Richard,
And
we have
go ahead.
an unofficial social media report coming in saying that at County Road, I guess 378, intersecting Jemison, there was a wreck, no injuries, but a tree fell on a caller's car to 911.
Wow, and no injuries, so they were okay.
Yes.
You know, we always tell you, get off the roads, please get off the roads. If there is a, threat of a tornado or damaging winds, you don't want to be in a car, especially at nighttime. You come up on this so fast, but a very large tornado warning Polygon has been issued for northern Chilton County, just north of Clanton, including Jemison and Mineral Springs. Also southern portions of Shelby County under that tornado warning Polygon, and that includes areas like Columbiana, back towards Calera, and also Wilton. You're under that the threat for a possible tornado with that. But again, we got a confirmation. We got debris that is right there where my finger is. That's in extreme northeast Bibb County. That's now to the northeast of the city of Brent and Centerville, as we do certainly have the possibility of a tornado there. Again, a tornado watch continues for East Alabama until a little later on tonight. That part will continue, but we do note that West Alabama has been taken out of the tornado watch for Tuscaloosa, Hale County points west. We've been talking about that will likely happen as a risk of severe weather has ended for West Alabama. Let's go into our dangerous thunderstorm coming up on Montevallo. And again, we have areas of rotation inside this. We'll go over to our velocity and show you this, where that rotation is indeed happening. There's nothing down here right now. I don't see any side of anything, but near Briarfield, we got this tiny spot where rotating winds are happening, and we have a debris signature right here. Let me show you this. This is where we're talking about for the debris. That's it, right on top of Briarfield. So again, a tornado has touched down in northeast Bibb County as this tornado is moving into far southwest Shelby County. Again, there's Wilton. We got Montevallo at the top of your screen. That's your tornado right there. There's Briarfield. That's Highway 139. There's Wilton. I would imagine this is going to be a short-lived tornado based off of what we're seeing with the velocity. I don't think this is going to be on the ground long, but again, a quick tornado has touched down just north of Ashby. There's Briarfield, 139. There's Wilton. That's Highway 25 right there. This is just south of the interchange of 25 and 139. So again, we need you to be in a safe place if you're in extreme northeast Bibb County, extreme southwest Shelby County, and extreme northwest. I mean, this is just, all these counties are right here. This is Chilton, Shelby, Bibb. It's this triple point of these counties is where we're talking about for a tornado that has touched down right over Briarfield. And we got damage being produced by this tornado that is down. And Chelsea, we got Chelsea Air and also the Weather Center. Chelsea, anything from the Weather Service on this debris as well?
Yeah,
it?
Richard, current reports right now, they're saying that the circulation's embedded within the bookend vortex, so the storm will be passing along and south of Wilton, Montevallo, headed generally towards Calera at this moment, again, showing signs of weakening, but still on the lookout for these storms. Again, currently we have some tornado debris signatures now at Shelby, Bibb, and Chilton borders. So again, these are currently in the mix of all of these different counties.
Yes, it's literally right at the triple point of all these counties of a tornado that is down. We know it's down. We can see the debris with this. And look, here's the deal. If you're north of Montevallo, there's no issues with you. If you're across northern Shelby County, you're okay. The tornado itself is right there on that triple point. This is Bibb County, Chilton, Shelby County. There's where all those counties meet right there, and that's where that tornado is. So again, if you're in this area, you need to be in a safe place right now. In the lowest floor of your home, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. I don't think this thing's going to be down very long, but again, this is certainly a dangerous situation for a tornado that is no doubt is down right now in this part of Bibb, Chilton, and Shelby counties. So again, this is where we're talking about. See the correlation coefficient drop off. You see those values. Anytime they get below 0.50, that is a significant indication there's a tornado down. And clearly that value is much lower than 0.50. So again, we got a dangerous storm that could be producing a tornado. This is where we're looking at. That's Highway 39 right there, Highway 25, Chilton County, Shelby, Bibb. All these counties where they come together is where that tornado is right now. So let me put on the roads here, just kind of show you what we're indicating. All right, so here's some of the roads you see in the path of this tornado right here. This is where your tornado is now. This is where it is. It's now in Chilton County, northern Chilton County. It's crossed out of Shelby. It's now out of Bibb County. It's solely in Chilton County. But understand, it's going to skip back into southern Shelby County within a matter of about 10 minutes. So now it is in Chilton County. Let me clear this off. I want to zoom out just a little bit and show you where this thing's heading because it's moving pretty quickly. It looks like it's moving almost due east, slightly north of due east, but that's your tornado right there. Here's Highway 155. It's south of Montevallo. If you're in Montevallo, you're fine. Again, it's moving like that. So it's going to be a close call for Calera down to the south. That's Highway 31. All right. So this thing's moving northeast like that. Again, a dangerous storm. There's no doubt there's a tornado down with this. Most likely, this is not going to be down very long. Let's look at the velocity signature. And you can hardly see it. It's right there. That's it. And there may be a new circulation forming right here on 25. You see just below Montevallo. So these are these really tiny circulations that spin up quickly on this. So we may see another tornado form very close to Montevallo, if not just a hair to the south. That's 155 where it runs into 25. And this is all heading towards Calera. So if you're in southern Shelby County in the city of Calera, we want you in a safe place now. The lowest floor of your home, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible as this tornado passes by. Again, it's tracking off towards east-northeast at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Let me take you back. Let's see. Have y'all heard of anything back in Chilton County to the south of this?
No, haven't had any reports coming up recently. Just talking about where the tornado debris signature is at. New tornado debris signature southeast of Montevallo just posted right now.
That's right there.
On Highway 25.
Just what we're talking about. So let me take you into that. Again, so we got new tornado debris signature popping up very close to Montevallo. And here's the deal. We're so close to the radar, we're basically sampling air near the ground. And the radar site is in Shelby County. Pull on the debris and let's watch it. Let's see if we got it. There it is right there. You see that? There's the original tornado. There's the new tornado coming right towards Calera. That's Highway 25 right there. In fact, it will be interesting to see if the National Weather Service office is in Calera, if they will have to take shelter for this tornado that's heading directly towards the National Weather Service office in Calera. So we'll be watching that. But again, the tornado is on top of Highway 25 as we speak. And again, we got Chelsea Aaron also in the Weather Center. Chelsea, you see anything?
You know, in regards to what you just said, you know, they're thinking it should stay south of the office there at the Shelby County Airport, but they have notified the National Weather Service in Atlanta in case they are needed for backups. But again, they're hoping and thinking that it's going to stay south of the National Weather Service there in Calera.
Yeah, the National Weather Service, they're the guys that actually issue the warnings for that, and these guys are very close to Calera, so I'm sure they are certainly concerned about this storm and this tornado that's down. So let me show you this. We got two tornadoes down simultaneously. All right, there's one tornado there, and there's one tornado there. This is in northern Chilton County. This is in southern Shelby County. We got 155 there. There's Highway 25, again, Roberta right there, Calera, South Calera. Okay, this is Highway 31. There's Interstate 65. The radar dome is at the top of your screen. We are literally sampling air just a couple hundred feet off the ground. So we know there's a tornado down there and there's a tornado down there. These two tornadoes are within about 4 miles of each other, which you don't see very often. Here they are now. Again, there's one tornado, there's the other tornado. These are moving both towards the east-northeast, just like that. So again, this is heading directly towards the Calera area and the Shelby County Airport. This is going to be crossing Interstate 65 and Highway 31, heading in that direction.
Yeah, Richard, we're already getting some damage reports here in Shelby County, reports of trees down in the area of Highway 155 and Highway 200 in Montevallo area. They have confirmed that tornado on the ground southeast of Montevallo moving through.
Yeah, and again, this the tornado now is between Montevallo and Calera. Here's your tornado right here, and let's look at the wind. We should be able to see wind, basically what the actual ground level wind is because of the fact that we're so close to the radar site. And again, let's see what the speed is on this. 63 mile an hour wind, so this is likely an EF0, EF1 type of tornado, most likely a very weak tornado, but still there's damage being produced. This will bring trees down and could bring a threat to life or property. So if you're in southern Shelby County, we need you to get out of a mobile home. If you're on Highway 25, please get out of a car. If you are in Calera, up and down Highway 31, or if you are up and down Interstate 65, you've got to get off the road, off the interstate, find a safe place to get. We have a tornado that is on the ground right there just north of the Roberta community. That is 25. Again, it's past east of Montevallo. It's coming up on Calera as we speak. Let's put on the debris and see where it is. That's it right there. That's your tornado. We've got a second tornado just at the bottom of your screen in Chilton County. And these are two very weak tornadoes that are down simultaneously for the storm. Here's a new update. There's your tornado. It appears it may be weakening. The debris signature is not as large as it was. Again, it's moving northeast. There is Calera right there. Let me move the view over just a bit and show you Calera. So again, there's your tornado there. It's heading towards Calera. Looks like it's going to cross Highway 31 somewhere up here. And there's I-65, so it's going to cross north of 25. It's already north of 25 now, but again, your tornado will be right there, moving northeast in that fashion. Let me zoom out a little bit, and Chelsea, what's the speed on this tornado, if you can find that?
The speed last time that they made any reports was about a few minutes ago. It's moving northeast at 40 miles per hour.
Okay.
That's the latest reports, again, observed. Hail at less than 3/4 of an inch.
All right, so again, we got Calera, Shelby Springs, Columbiana. You're on the path of this tornado as it is down, but understand this thing will likely not be down very long. What you're looking at is correlation coefficient. I know this map is very confusing, but we're looking at debris inside of a tornado that is right there. The original tornado was down here. I believe it is now lifted. That's come across Highway 155, but again, we need to watch that one carefully as well. Let's go back into the main tornado here. That's in southern Shelby County. This is all south and east of Maylene. This is all south of Helena. This is, again, coming up on Calera, just like that off towards the northeast at about 40 miles per hour.
Richard, we also have some more damage reports coming in from Chilton County. Again, not officially National Weather Service confirmed, but 275 Pine Hill Road, Jemison, trees down on a hill blocking the entire road.
Yeah. And it's amazing, you know, this thing's in a populated area now. We get these reports almost in real time of what's happening with this storm. So again, we still got a tornado down in southern Shelby County. It looks like it's directly on top of Calera. So again, if you're in Calera or the Stems community, we need you in a safe place. We want you in a safe place right now because this is a dangerous storm that could be producing a tornado still, and has been producing a tornado over the past 20 to 25 minutes, it began to produce a new tornado. So again, it's about 10:15. If you're just now joining us, Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott, along with Danielle Davis and Chelsea Aaron in the Weather Center, we continue to monitor this situation. We have a new tornado down that's in southern Shelby County. That's right here. There's not much of a velocity couplet there, but it doesn't matter. We know there's a tornado down. Let's look at the debris. And again, it's extremely noisy now. It's hard to see it, but there's still a tornado there inside this. So again, if you're in Calera, you need to be in a safe place immediately, as we do have a tornado that's down. We'll pull on the velocity, and let me zoom out. I want to do a path on this thing because this is going to be moving across a very populated part of Shelby County. And I see nothing down here in Chilton. No sign of anything in Chilton County. It looks like the tornado has dissipated there in northern Chilton County. Danielle and Chelsea mentioning there was some damage down there. But again, it sure looks like that tornado has diminished. Still got a tornado that's on the ground very close to Calera. It's moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Again, there's some of the communities in the path of this if this tornado does continue across Shelby County, well south of Helena, and again off to the east of Montevallo now. There's Montevallo. This is east of you. It's crossing Interstate 65. Your tornado's right there, literally on top of Calera. There's Columbiana about 1040. Harpersville, if it does continue, we're talking about just after 11 o'clock. So those are community arrival times when this tornado will be in your general area. So again, we've got a tornado that's still down, that's very close to Calera. That's the radar site. This thing is literally next to the radar site, so we're sampling winds and debris almost on the ground level. If you remember back when this storm was in Marengo County, it was a struggle because the radar beam was 10 to 15,000 feet up at that part of the state. Well, here we're right next to the radar, so we can see what's actually happening right there. Let me put on the warning. And so you can see that polygon, and again, it includes the eastern and central portion of Shelby County to the south of Alabaster, basically Calera, and points south and east. You're under the tornado warning for now.
Richard, National Weather Service talking about how a new severe thunderstorm warning is looking to be forthcoming for Coosa County. Looking at the reflectivity, you can definitely see some inflow notches where we have a good bow echo from wind, likely wind, strong damaging winds coming in their county.
That's down at Chilton.
Yes.
So we'll go down
Chilton
into that.
Going into Coosa.
Yeah, we'll go into that as well. So what you're looking at is a warning, the red polygons, your tornado warning there. Let's take you out back to a wider view and show you this. And again, I'm going to take you to a wide view to show everybody out there across our area. Notice West Alabama, the tornado watch being allowed to expire as the tornado risk is ending for West Alabama. The tornado risk continues for Central Alabama now. And again, eventually this is going to move out of East Alabama into Georgia. We got a severe thunderstorm warning for pretty much all of Chilton County for the potential for damaging straight line winds. And then we have a tornado on the north side of that. I'm going to pull on the reflectivity. And again, we got the Boeing segment with certainly damaging wind potential, but we also have, this is moving off towards the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So again, this is the storm of concern. These are the communities and the arrival times if this storm does continue. Again, we got Columbiana coming up within the next 10 minutes if this tornado does continue. Let me clear that off the screen and take you into that storm. because this is it, by the way. There's no additional severe weather issues in our area. I do not expect any additional issues. This is the one area of concern, and this is a rotating thunderstorm that continues to show sign of producing tornadoes. We kind of went a little bit of a lull period there where we didn't have much happen, and now all of a sudden this thing is producing these small tornadoes. And I say small based off the velocity. This is reflectivity, what you're looking at. And again, this is where there's a potential small tornado on the backside of this. Let me show you the velocity. And I tell you what, while we do that, Danielle, is there any sign of a debris signature with this, or has it faded?
I'll look back at that right now, Richard.
Okay.
I'm likely seeing, it's really just very close to the radar, so it's kind of a messy signal coming in from there. Not getting a very defined signature, but again, it's so close to the radar that things get pretty messy pretty close to it.
Yeah, I don't see much of a couple in terms of wind. The tornado may have lifted, but it's hard to tell based off the signature. I would say maybe the tornado's lifted, but again, if you're in Shelby Springs, we need you in a safe place now. All right, so again, the National Weather Service is going to cancel the tornado warning for Chilton, so Shelby's the only one in it. That makes sense. So again, the only tornado now is in southern Shelby County. It is now to the east of Calera. Looks like we still have some rotation near Shelby Springs, and that is moving up Highway 25 off to the northeast. Again, this is well south of Alabaster, Helena. You're not in this. This is all to the south of you. Let me put the warning on and zoom out and show you who's in this Polygon, because we just had a change to this. Here we go, the new update. You see that right there. And Chelsea, Aaron, what is the time on that warning again? Is that still the 10:45
Richard,
original?
Yeah, that's the 10:45 p.m. continuing the warning for just Shelby County.
Okay, go ahead, Danielle. Did you have an update?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so again, this is until 10:45 for this warning. So again, all we have now is Shelby County, southern and eastern Shelby County, under this tornado warning until 10:45. And it looks like for the moment the rotation may have weakened. Again, these are going to be really short-lived, I think, tornadoes based off the environment. In fact, if you look at the velocity signature, there is nothing there. It is just faded very quickly. So that is a good sign to see, but how many times have we said that tonight? Danielle, we mentioned that
Richard,
at least 8 times.
I can't count how many times. This system we've been tracking from all the way back in Mississippi, so it has traveled through several counties, weakening, then strengthening back up, and then showing a debris signature on correlation coefficient, indicating that it's been on the ground, and then lifted back into the atmosphere, and then back on the ground again. So this has happened over and over again with the same exact system that we've been tracking all night.
Yeah, it's incredible to see this thing, how fast it changes. You go from things are quietening down to all of a sudden it ramps up and there's a confirmed tornado down. I do not see any sign of a tornado right now, but understand that could change very quickly, so let's watch it. Let me go back over to the warning.
We have reported damage in Bibb County to I believe it's a Mahan Creek Dental on Highway 139.
Yeah, that's when we had that quick touchdown.
Yes.
We saw the debris signature live on air, and it didn't last long. It was on there for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then it was gone. But again, I would not be surprised. We're in a very populated part of Alabama now, so if a tornado touches down, we know in almost real time, and then it's going to damage structures. So just to be cautious, if you're on Highway 70 up towards 25 towards Wilsonsville, let's go to a safe place. Let's stay there until this storm passes by, because this is a very fast-hitting type of tornado. Whenever it spins up, it's on the ground in no time, and then it lifts. So again, if you're in this Polygon, let's stay in a safe place right now until this threat does end. And again, we still have that little back edge there, the bookend vortice, which is what we talking about. That's a term for this comma head feature. And this is coming up on Columbiana. There's Wilsonsville right there. Highway 145 runs into 25 right into Wilsonsville on the west side of town. This tornadic circulation is moving just like that towards you if this does indeed continue. So again, a storm that we will continue to watch, as it does have the potential to produce a tornado at any time in Shelby County. So again, if you're just now joining us, coming up on 10:30, I'm Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. We got Danielle Davis and Chelsea Aaron also in the Weather Center, and we are watching what has been quite a long severe weather event across the southeast. Now we've had one storm in our area that has produced tornado after tornado after tornado. So after this event is over with, we'll likely have several tornadoes confirmed, but the deal is it was produced by one storm. And that happens sometimes. These storms kind of compete with each other and one becomes dominant. And I think that's what this storm has been doing pretty much all night. Also just checking some things behind the scenes. It looks like new severe thunderstorm warning for Coosa County. That's until 11 o'clock. No sign of a tornado with that. That is damaging straight line winds. In terms of what has happened so far, I see several signs of damage, reports of damage back in West Alabama near the Demopolis area. We got a power outage just being reported in Tuscaloosa County. In fact, on the Tierce Patton Road area, we got power outages there. Let's see, getting reports of some structural damage on Highway 80. We saw that earlier back in Marengo County.
Richard, we also have begun to get some social media reports. Again, these are unconfirmed reports, but some damage in Bibb County and in Shelby County, mostly on Montevello Road, and some possible injuries with this damage. Okay, yeah, so we got some injuries now. Not surprised based off of what we've seen tonight. So again, that's in near Montevallo. So that's what just touched down just a moment ago. So again, we got several areas we've been watching. This is what's left of this thunderstorm that continues to produce tornado after tornado after tornado. We've known it's produced these. We've seen them on air in terms of actual pictures. We've also seen confirmation in terms of debris. In fact, if we can, Chelsea or Danielle, if we can pull up that picture on the weather iPad of that damage we had earlier, or
I
that
have
the actual tornado.
a new image actually coming in. This is a new picture from the saltwater area near Demopolis from the storm earlier, where mobile homes were damaged, and then again in Marengo County, where we saw the mom and her 2 children injured. So this is a look from damage earlier. Trees falling down in roads. Also have looking like some metal actually wrapped around a mailbox with more structural damage down on the ground. Again, this is from a mobile home park down near the salt well area, by Demopolis.
Yeah, again, this was just west of Demopolis out towards Rock 10 plant. Again, this is certainly a dangerous situation from this storm that is now off to the northeast. This thing's in Shelby County, so again, we're getting some images in from some damaged areas from this storm. We've had several tornadoes